Welcome to our Rolemaster Actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duyranaki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 146 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The hero party have decided to turn their attention back to the secrets of Duyranaki and now find themselves exploring the terrible, dead city. We rejoin our heroes in the aftermath of a short but brutal fight with a spine-covered creature in a ruined temple. Hello, my name is Chris, alternatively known on this channel as GM Chance, and it is our great pleasure to welcome you to our story this evening. The story that we're telling is a tabletop role-playing game. The title of the campaign, the title of the story we're telling is Ain't No Place for a Hero. The rule set that we use, the game that we're playing, is a game that dates all the way back to the 1980s. It's called Rolemaster. It's quite a crunchy system, and I've been playing it since the 1980s and love it. To tell a good story, you need protagonists, you need heroes. The title of this campaign is Ain't No Place for a Hero. These are our heroes in this game. And up on screen are their faces, all 8 of them. It is a comparatively large role-playing group, and we have 5 players that we'll be hearing from in a minute or so. If you do the maths, there are 8 characters and 5 players, so yes, indeed, a number of players double up and play more than one of these characters. We've been playing for quite a while. 5 years, nearly 5 years, in fact. We started in midway through 2020, and we play pretty much consistently online, although we do get together once a year to roll dice up here in the beautiful city of Auckland. So we've been playing for a long time, but we've only been recording these sessions since late 2022. So if you didn't already notice, the very first video in this channel, or in this in this playlist, is an intro session to what happened to the 60 or so episodes before we switched on the cameras. There may occasionally be some things that we reference in this game that happened before we started recording. We also produced a short document. It's quite colourful. It's got lots of pictures. Don't worry about it being lots of words. It's got a few words in it, but it's like, you know, it's quite easy to read, and that provides a more detailed explanation of a bit about what's happened and kind of the main elements of the story plot, and that can be found down in the section in the notes below this video. In a second or so, I mentioned before, we're going to hear from the players as they introduce their characters a little bit. But before we do so, I habitually now, in fact, since we started recording, have always taken a moment to thank the people that follow us online, that support us, that provide advice or comments, or just simply are interested in this, which is our hobby. We'd be doing this anyway. We do this for fun. The fact that we're able to record our games and share them ultimately with the world, and that people take pleasure and interest in what we do, is a real bonus for us, and we appreciate it. So thank you to one and all. Your support is greatly appreciated. Really encourage anybody who hasn't yet to take a couple of seconds of your time and use your mouse to click either a like down below or, even better, a subscribe. Every single YouTube channel in existence has probably said this, I'm sure, but it's absolutely true. A couple of seconds from you really does make a big difference, and you clicking those buttons down below helps the algorithm help other people find our content. Thanks very much. Okay, as I mentioned before, time to hear from the players. And we spend quite a bit of time on this channel delving into the motivations, the psyche, the whatever you want to call it, the likes, the dislikes, the foibles of the characters up on screen. We think it makes for a richer game. And to do so, I sent out earlier in the week. We're playing on a Wednesday night, as we usually do. I sent out on a Monday some questions for the players to mull over, and I'm going to turn to those questions now. And we're starting off with Pete to introduce his character by way of these questions. And I'm going to change the music to in a second. Pete, the mic is yours.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'm playing two characters tonight. The first of which is Leif, and I'd like to answer this question. He'd like to answer this question. How did your character view the role of luck in their adventures? He very much believes in luck. He sees it everywhere, and sort of, well, as players we see it, but he sees it in his life frequently. He knows that there's, we've been having evidence that there's gods. He's not particularly a believer, but we know he doesn't devote himself to any of them, but he sort of is acknowledging that they're around. So they've got a bit of, they twist luck, fate and luck, I suppose, at some points, but he mostly sees luck as really important, and it can be. He doesn't know what the mechanic is, but it could just be the roll of a dice that makes things work out well for him or not. And case in point, last session there was a fire. He was very lucky last session, and on two occasions. Bad luck to sort of get aimed at by a fireball, but lucky to have escaped with very little damage, and a very lucky attack against a creature. So it didn't have to work out that way. It could have just been completely different. So that's what he does see that in his life. That's why forms part of who he is that takes each day as it comes and is thankful for every single day. The other character I'm playing tonight is Mithan, and what's the most unexpected twist in your character's journey? Oh goodness. She's had a number of twists in her life, and some bad ones and some good ones. The one that I suppose I'd talk about happened before we started recording. This is when the party, not everyone was in the party at the time, but several of us were there. I think 4. Yeah, Leif, Mithan, Heros, and Niathnol, at least. In the north, we had been accompanied by a scholar who would sort of been being bodyguards for to an excavation site, and we'd sort of kept company with her as we travelled a little bit. We'd sort of mentioned to her the sort of visions we'd been having, which was certainly interesting. An unexpected twist was when she drugged us, kidnapped us, stuck us on a ship, and tortured us because she worked for the TPP or the UPP, or I can't remember exactly the name of but for Turang.
Turang's People's Party.
Thank you. Yes, so that was a little bit a very nice twist at all. Yeah. So, but there's been many twists. But that was perhaps one of the major ones that we went, oh.
Yes, indeed.
That was there's never a dull moment, I have to say. And that's Mithan, thank you. Can we please hear from Giles?
Thanks, Pete. Nice. So I play Tarquin, who's a very young half-elf, and I'm going to ask the same question in terms of how does your character view the role of luck in their adventure? Tarquin essentially believes luck doesn't exist. would consider people who sort of spend a lot of time rolling the dice and presuming you're lucky to kind of be slightly idiotic, and perhaps needing to take a little bit more control. So maybe lucky that conversation hasn't come up in game just yet, certainly floating within the party. But there you go. And it's kind of, I suppose, the ignorance or arrogance of youth, because thinking about his time course, he'd been pretty lucky. He's one of the few people to have survived the destruction of his village. He'd been one of the kind of few people, I suppose, generally, who's managed to fall in with a group of strangers with a generally similar kind of goal to do what he wants to do. He's been pretty lucky in terms of being able to navigate cities. He's been extremely lucky in terms of surviving what could have been a killing blow out on Little Ricky. And so the outside observer might think possibly this doesn't reflect his objective reality, but certainly is his internal one. And with that, we'll pass over to Alex.
Thank you, Giles. I love hearing about Tarquin. He's so interesting. I love hearing about them all, but he's just so fascinating to me. Kia ora, I'm Alex. I play Keros. We also have Victory the cat, who is a sentient being and plays herself. Again, really great selection of questions. I'm going to answer, how does your character feel about the balance between good and evil? Keros is very black and white about this, probably a bit like her owner. There are good things and there are bad things, and it is a balance because there's, simplifying it, good and light and dark in all of us. And do we do bad things for good outcomes? Is a question, but definitely has a very strict moral code. Probably won't be swayed. You could try and sway her. She might be open to a bit of extenuating circumstances, but ultimately right is right and wrong is wrong. She does believe there does need to be evil, because what's the purpose otherwise if not to fight the good fight for those who can't? So very, yeah, she can't imagine a world, or maybe I can't imagine a world without some bad, because yeah, there's a sense of fighting there, fighting for the underdog, fighting for the right thing, and it's very motivating for her. In the words of our idol, both of us need to be aware of vertigo from the dizzying heights of the moral high ground, I think. Yeah, but basically black and white, can't sway her, but appreciates that there is dark in the world, and that is strongly motivating for her for what she does.
Excellent. Thank you.
And Victory just wants chin scritches and a saucer of milk.
And fish.
And fish.
Fish is nice.
Can we please hear from Graham?
Can.
And maybe she'd like not to be in Tarek Nev as well.
Oh, she'd absolutely like to not be in Tarek Nev.
Thank you. I'm not going to answer any questions. I'm just going to make the point that both the characters I play, Niathal and Etienne, are sort of currently, for want of a better word, on holiday from their prime purposes. And what a nice place to go on holiday. Little island resort we're on, full of life-sucking demons. But because principally taking Niathal, both of them have very much follow the whims, believe they are following the whims of their deities. And Niathal, really, her way of being has sort of been interrupted by this higher purpose. She believes her deity is center on this mission. And so that's sort of parked her natural kind of way of being, really, in terms of making her way around the world, silently bumping off people who she fears that her goddess would favour getting rid of. So it's been a bit of an interruption of normal programming. But she believes the goddess is central on this mission to save the world, and so that's what she's doing. So that sort of interrupted things. And likewise, Etienne, although he's used to going on missions by his goddess Aphrodite, this is certainly one of them, and he was told to join this party and see it through. He is normally quite a gregarious chap and will sort of take time out from killing bad guys or dispatching bad guys to sort of spread the love. And he's had precious opportunity to do that of late, given where we are and where we've been. So sort of stopping off just to get pissed or chase the local skirt is unfortunately not really on the agenda at the moment. So he too is really sort of just pausing his sort of he's not had an opportunity really to go about his normal business. It's not really practical to do so in this in the middle of a festering undead swamp and an undead city. So it's I just thought I'd make that point rather than answer one of the questions, because the trouble is with a lot of the questions, I often have the same answer as i.e. the in-between, but I didn't want to say that again, so I thought I'd do something different.
Nice one. Very good. Thank you very much. And excellent. Good. Always good to go off script. We have one last player to hear from. Aidan, welcome to the session.
Hello. Thank you. Sorry I'm a little late.
All good.
I'm going to answer first for Gray. How does... what was I going to say for Gray? Gray, how does your character view the role of luck in their adventure? He's very hopeful that one day he'll have good luck with his choices. He's taken quite a few hits with arrows, but then at the same time, he's always kind of come out okay. So he loves a gamble, and he loves to try and win shiny things, and he's So I think he's hopeful about luck, but he's not always got the best luck. But unlucky in the game, but lucky in love, maybe. We'll see. And for Demos, what is the most unexpected twist in your character's journey? For him, I think he would say the most unexpected twist was while they were trying to resurrect Keros and at a port, he saw what he thought was his sister, and that's it's really shaped his thinking going forward. She's always on his mind, and he wants to get this done so he can get to it as soon as possible.
Excellent. Well met, one and all. Thank you. Just before when we go on to in a second, as we're about to, for Pete to do a recap, I'll just touch on Demos's injuries. I had some calculations to do, Aidan. I'll just kind of fill you in on where we got to. So, gentle viewer, gentle listener, that's the team. You've heard a bit about them. That's them up on screen, and that's them with their names underneath. As mentioned before, now is the time we turn to Pete, who is our scribe, to provide a rundown of what happened last time. Pete, please.
Thank you. So last session we started off in what we believe is the Temple of Orgiana in Taraknev, the City of the Dead. So happy place to be. We're not firm that this is the Temple of Orgiana. I think it's called the Temple of Burning Night. But we're pretty sure that the statue in the middle is of her, because it just fits her description that we've had. This is a place that was a potential place for one of the reasons we're in Taraknev to be hidden, which is the sword. So the Defiler's Bane sword, which pairs with Keros's little dagger, which is specifically designed to kill the guy that hopefully isn't going to arrive. The TPP people aren't going to be able to summon him. We'll see. We started in this temple, and we'd done a little bit of exploring previously, but we continued to do our exploring by going up to the statue in the middle there. And I think we decided on the person who, I think it was Leif, because I think he was sort of the nicest to Orgiana in the past, or had sort of, I don't know if he, when we had our little session with the old man who let us see the vision of coming here, I think there was a prayer after that. I think Leif might have participated in the prayer. Something like that. So, he volunteered anyway. Went up and had a look, because we're very trap shy, perhaps not enough. But he went up and had a wee look around. You know, approached up the stairs, had a look at this altar. So there's a candle sitting there. Looked fairly. There she is. We think Orgiana, sort of made out of metal with sort of symbolic, or were they gemstone flames, metal flames painted to metal painted looked like flames. Really impressive, really sort of imposing statue, very large. He was cautious. He sort of stepped up, I think, to have a look on that platform. Came back down to everyone else, and it seemed all safe and everything. Decided to go back up and have another look, and because behind this altar with the candles on it, it was a plaque. He wanted to get a better angle on to see if he could read it. Went and had a look and could not read it, and thought, okay, well there we go then. Seems fairly safe up here. Went to step off. And not sure exactly where it came from, but a fireball was fired at him and engulfed him. Luckily, everyone else was still waiting at the bottom, so he was the only one involved. Got quite a bit scorched and was sort of smouldering quite a lot. I think Keros cast fly on him so he could get out of any future range quite quickly, which was, thank you, Keros. But a bit singed, but in the end, Mithan did a bit of healing, and I think no permanent harm done. Thank goodness. I think after that, Tarquin very cautiously went and checked that area again, see if he could read the plaque. No luck there, because of course we're looking for clues about where the sword could be. So we're sort of scratching our heads a bit. Might be we need to come back to look more carefully, who knows, but we'll have to be very careful. We then decided to investigate the doors. So this room has got 6 entrances. One is the sort of melted tunnel we came through. One is the big double doors that we just saw to the right. And then on each corner, there's the double doors there. And then on each corner, I think it was seemed to be a smaller set of doors that we figured would lead to sort of the towers on each corner of this building that we could see from the outside. Yes, Neathanel picked the lock, I believe, and sort of pulled the door open with, I think it was Gray and Demos and who else was at the front there? Etienne, I think, right up the front. And what I'm calling the pincushion monster, a very large beastie, jumped out. Quite a few teeth. He didn't smell very nice. And very large and really quite scary. He straight away sort of somehow ejected some of those spines, pins, whatever they are, and sort of did this ranged attack. And I think that Gray took a few. Etienne was well protected by his armor, but poor old Demos was particularly hit by them, and I think he did quite a bad injury on his Achilles tendon. So yikes, there we were fighting this creature. Neathanel stepped out from behind the door and took a swing at it with her dagger. I don't know if it was a good hit, not sure. Gray pulled Demos out of the way, and then here's the second bit of luck Leif had. He sort of ran up from where he'd been cowering behind the statue and did his attack and just rolled luckily on the crit and was able to skewer it through its head. So down. Thank you very much. And down it fell, in the process breaking his special sort of anti-zombie sword. So them's the breaks, so to speak. So a short but sort of furious. Sorry, Giles. There was a pained expression from Giles there. The short but sort of nasty fight there. Poor old Demos. I think Keros and Mithan attended to Demos, administering up Sur. I can never say that herb's name. Keros prepared it with her special spell, and Demos was able to drink it. 6 hours to take effect, I believe. Tarquin and I think a few other people got involved in wanted to search the room behind the dead monster who was taking up the whole of the doorway, and we couldn't exactly push or pull him out of the way because he's covered in spikes. Tarquin teleported behind him. Someone cast float on him, and Tarquin sort of pushed him out of the way, and he's now floating through the room. I mean, really. Tarquin, a few people then went on to investigate this sort of corner tower room. Not sure if much was was found apart from a notebook which Tarquin took, and I'm not sure that we can read it, but we can certainly have a go. I think that was pretty much all there was, apart from I do remember that from the previous session, Mithan still in about an hour, maybe half an hour by now, maybe now, I don't know, was going to do another perception roll on the other end of the room. And please tell me what I missed.
Excellent. Nothing, basically, as far as I can tell. I do have one last comment, as mentioned, about Demos's health, which I'll come to in a second. But before I do so, any questions, comments, observations? Graham, you listened into the session, I believe, but you didn't attend, so happy to take any questions or comments from anybody.
I did listen, but I can't. Sorry, just one question. Did we search that room for passages, for secret passages, and other things that might not be immediately visible?
The tower room?
Yeah.
I don't think we've sort of finished doing our search of it quite yet. I think.
No, I listened to the recording. You did look.
And can I check, Chris? So Pete can't remember where the fireball came from. I thought it came out of the chest of this, this big old beastie. But I got that wrong.
I don't think Leif actually knew, and I'm not sure if you guys actually knew. There was just suddenly, in Leif's perspective, there was just fire in front of him. It happened very quickly. From your perspective, from character's perspective, there was just a big gout of flame that came certainly from this area here. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. So just to fill you and Demos, you are definitely the worst for wear. When this critter came out and fired these spines out, Etienne was actually hit by 7, but his metal armor saved him. Armor in this game can be really potent. It can be really a hassle to move in and to climb in and do things like that, but my goodness, in a fright, it comes to the fore, and this is a great example of that. So Etienne was effectively uninjured. However, Demos, who does wear armor, a leather breastplate, was hit, and was hit 5 times. 5 spines came at him. One was a relatively ineffectual glance to his shoulder. It stunned him for a bit and put him at a slight negative. The negative was temporary. The second one hit him on his forearm, and that has given you a very unpleasant negative 25 to all actions. So it's definitely done some damage to and that would be your spear arm. Mm-hmm. The third one was ineffectual. The fourth one was the really serious one that hit you in your lower calf, and that is the one that's put you at negative 75, which you are currently still at. I need to readjust your thing on my software just while I think of it. That has been cured, as you believe, by Keros, giving your very last Akbute herb. You have no more of that herb, but it takes 6 hours to take effect. So the negative 75 will dissipate as you believe in 6 hours. The negative 25, Keros then... and the very last one was a minor forearm wound. You were bleeding a little bit from that, and you were stunned, but those effects have now gone. The forearm wounds, Keros, after Mithan had stopped bleeding, cast that very handy spell that she has on the prosaic magic list, and has determined and has been able to provide a very accurate diagnosis of you, and that is that your shield arm has been badly slashed. The muscles and the tendons in your your spear arm, beg my pardon, are at negative 25. So that will obviously heal of its own accord in time, but
that's not affected by that herb that heals in 6 hours.
No, that was for a specific injury and it doesn't affect. I don't believe. What was it, Pete?
Well, in where I've written it down in the XP tracker, it says muscle cartilage and tendon repair heals all in body. 6
Oh, really?
hours
Okay.
through. But I'm so we could go with that, or I could double check in character campaign.
We must would love to go with that if possible.
See if you can beat me to it, Pete. I'm looking at the same as you are. Go. Muscle cartilage and tendon. What's it called?
Apsusa. Men's muscle damage is all it says.
Men's muscle damage. So I don't quite know where you got the all in body.
No, I don't know either. It might have come with the description because I think this is one of those one of the herbs in the freezer, the fridge box from the Sears Tower. So I think that description came from you, from the. I mean, I don't know. Can see if I.
Let me see if I can find it. Because if that's what I said, that's what we'll go with. But I need to find it. Hang on a sec. Can you spell the herb, please?
Sure. Hang on. A.R.P.
A.R.P. Yep.
S.U.S.A.R.
S.U.S.A.R.
Oh, we are here. Sweet sorrel, black pops.
Yeah, it's strange. Doesn't show up. Does not show up in my notes there. Let me just try to see if.
Maybe we didn't get it there.
No, you are right. I have found it. And your characters got this I put it into the channel on the 22nd of January 2022, and it's as you say. Muscle damage will heal all damaged muscles in one body. Add 8 hours recovery time for each additional muscle damage. 6 hours. So interesting. I wonder where I came up with the two descriptions of the same herb. That is interesting. Anyway, that is what I've located the description. I found it. That's what I gave you. So we are going to go with what I gave you. So the good news, the good news, yes, Demos, is you currently are at negative 100.
Okay. Oh dear.
The negative 75 will go down in 6 hours. The negative 25 the remaining 25 will go down in another 2 hours after that. Not that you necessarily 100% know that, or not that you would know that.
No. Okay. Well, he definitely believes a little bit more in luck.
Okay. There we go. I've re-put you back at its negative 100 currently. So that's where we are currently for Demos, other than to note, of course, his shield arm, he's not having much luck with his arms, his shield arm is still numb. He cannot use his shield arm. That is where we are going to begin, unless there are any other questions or comments from anybody, anything that's unclear. Nope. Go on once. Go on twice. Let's start the game. That's exactly where we begin. Demos has been patched up with the herb as mentioned. One question I had as the GM was, this critter we've got up on screen is still floating. Would it be? Can anybody remember how long the float spell lasted for? I would say, would it be fair to say after the checking of the room and the healing, probably 5 minutes has elapsed, perhaps? Would the critter still be floating?
Yeah, I think it was only a couple of minutes per level, so I'm sure it's gone down by now.
Okay. Easy. Down it goes. Clump. Splat. and if you remember, it was kind of leaking, almost, horrible kind of white, thick, viscous fluid out of it that smelled particularly bad. That's where we begin. What do characters want to do, please?
So can I just check, Chris? We've checked this room out. There's nothing in here but this notebook.
Correct.
So Tarquin will have a look inside it if he hasn't.
Sure. It's scripts that you're unfamiliar with.
Okay, he'll show it to other members of the party, despite the fact he reads 10 languages, to see if anybody else can recognise it. Is it worth doing a? It's probably not. Yeah, no, I think that's probably. He's got a read runes skill. Is it worth?
Give me a
I don't know.
You can always give me a roll. Sure.
Yeah, 67, 75, 57, 52 plus 22, 74. That's including the minus 25.
Cool. Thank you. No.
I'll,
No idea.
I'll just deduct as I go, Chris. I'll just do it in my head and let you tell me about it. He'll show other members of the party to see if anybody else can read it.
Is it similar to the ones on the plaque?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Nareti would be, that's what we're assuming that
Only
language.
we had a pair of magical glasses that could translate.
Do you think they even exist?
I've heard of such things.
The other party's got them.
Damn it. Chris, what? If we look in that room, how high is the ceiling? Does it go up into the tower?
No. Does it? No. So there is a dome on this building, as mentioned, but no. This is it would go up basically that height there. So if you're that high in the ethanol, it would go up and the ceiling would stop there. Stone ceiling.
What's curious about this room, right, is that presumably it hasn't been opened in centuries, and there was a demon behind it. So presumably that demon was brought in,
Summoned.
Maybe that's because we've lit the fire. I don't know, but we might assume something similar in the other doors, mightn't we?
That might be better. I think there was I don't know who it was commented to, but I assume I can share it. That people did perceive at the door, I think, and no sound, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and also I reckon it's a stinking demon, right? Demon, or whatever it was. If it had been living for 1,000 years in this room, that room would absolutely stink, right? You'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Assuming it doesn't.
A locked door. I don't know. Yeah, it just seems a bit odd, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would get it was summoned somehow. Yeah.
When you went up onto the platform, you didn't have the dagger, did you? Or
No.
didn't ask for the sword or anything? Yeah. Okay.
Despite all of that, I think Tarquin would suggest they head left and just keep going. I think we just open everything, we go back to Blaze.
Just maybe on the next door we maybe spread out a little bit, and we'll get Demos out of the way for once. And
if only we had someone dressed in steel who could stand in front of the door.
I don't even a man in steel doesn't need to stand in front of the door. I suggest we open the door and let whatever's in there come out, and so that if there's something in there, we can surround it rather than fight against the doorway.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we could rinse and repeat, but this time pull the door open. It seems to come outwards, and then sort of fan the characters out a little bit, taking cover, so they can all leap in and attack if something comes out.
Nathaniel offered to do would wall if anyone feels that would be helpful.
It's a really good idea. And characters like Tarquin with bows can be ready to shoot stuff if it comes through the door. I mean, we can be prepped.
Yeah, if maybe Mithan and Tarquin could set up firing positions on the next door.
Yep.
Nathan will pull open the door and cower behind it, and then others can leap in from behind the pedestal covers.
I have to say, Mithan doesn't have faith in ordinary bow
Oh yeah.
to do damage.
Well,
So she
Tarquin is an ordinary bow too, but I mean, what else can we do?
well, Mithan's
I mean,
got
that's
a
better
magical
than-
sword, so she's
okay.
going to favour that. But so sorry.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. No, no, that makes good sense.
So can we do that?
Before we do, have we judged about an hour? Could you just let us know when about Mithan thinks about an hour's gone past for her to redo her perception roll?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure thing.
thanks.
Any comments or thoughts from Demos, Grey, or Keros?
Demos is just thinking, ow. Gray he's very interested in the beast. He hasn't seen one of these before, this demon beast.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd just be interested in inspecting it. Probably doesn't want to smell it too closely, based on what you've said. But yeah, he's quite interested, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, my beast is barking.
Your beast is barking. So Grey has wandered down and spending some time down here, keeping his distance. Anything else from anybody else?
Whereabouts is Keros, please?
She's here. Of course, you weren't here at the end of last session either. She's there.
So she'll be ready to fire if she needs to from her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just snapcast, whatever.
Sure.
But
Alright.
staying safe and hidden.
Sure.
As well.
Okay. Talk me through what happens, guys.
So if we go to the next door,
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, something came through. Go to the next door, and then Nyathana will creep up to the door.
Okay. Do you want to give me a creeping roll?
Listen at the door.
Yep.
89 plus 119.
Okay.
Listen at the door.
Hmm?
Do you want me to roll that?
Please.
9, lucky it's masked.
Mhm.
Perception plus 82.
It is as silent as a tomb.
No, the sound of that. Right, undead on the way. Suggest then to Etienne is going to go between the plinth and the wall, away from the door. Yeah, so in that further to the left. And so he'll let, if something does jump out, he'll let it come to him and out into the room so people can get behind. So maybe he'll go a little bit further back so it can advance in. And then he would suggest that maybe those who are going to do projectile spells take a bit of cover behind one of the plinths, and maybe everyone else goes either side of the door at distance. So if something comes out, we can surround it.
Cool. We'll just go around in order. Leif, where are you standing?
Yep, he's happy to go to hide behind the other plinth. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Mithan, she'll go on the other corner from Leif. That's yep. Yeah, sorry, a bit closer to Leif, sharing the corner. Perfect. Thank you.
Right.
Swords out, shields out, that sort of thing.
Cool. Tarquin.
Other plinth?
Hello?
Can you pop them? Can you not hear me, Chris?
Can hear you, yes.
Could you pop them behind the other plinth? Yeah. Arrow on a string. He's going to be right at the edge, basically, so he can peek around with his bow out, take a pot shot at something.
Well, don't forget these are... They come up to mid chest, so his head and shoulders are not... Are
He's going to be ready to either shoot and or duck.
Cool. Keros.
Could she please move over? Sorry, where is she again? Sorry, she's behind that. Oh no, she's not on that. Can she go over to Tarquin's area? Yep, that side, and right up against the corner, so she can duck out and duck back.
Okay.
But she's currently behind it.
She would almost be. She's quite short, so the plinth would all. She can't see over it.
Okay, but she's definitely behind it.
Oh,
She's not just.
maybe just over it. Yes. And then lastly, Etienne and Demos and Grey, who's been inspecting the critter.
Demos is going to stay behind anything that he can just crouch behind. So yeah, he'll probably stay there. Maybe not that far away. He kind of wants to be close to the team, but he'll be kind of at the back. Yeah. And Gray is happy to stay on behind the other column because there seems to be only one person there, and probably best to spread them out a bit.
So.
Yeah, he'll stay. He'll be next to Mythan.
Cool. There.
Yeah.
All right.
But he'll have his eye on Keros.
Done. Very good.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Etienne just wants to look around and see where everyone's positioned, and he sees that he's between Carrios and the door.
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks, so he's going to go on the other side.
Okay. Others.
The other by the side of the other plinth where the other two characters are.
Over here.
Yeah. So between the plinth and the wall, and the wall with the door on, the tower wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can rush out and attack. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Done. Excellent. You are all positioned. What happens now?
Because they're ready to duck down, like as little showing above the plinth as possible. If there's more spear sort of thing, cover.
Excellent. What happens now?
So Niathanal looks around, checks everyone's ready, gives them a nod, and then tries the door.
Cool.
If it opens, she'll then run round and join the three over by Keros.
It's locked.
Okay. She'd like to pick the lock, please.
Okay. So the good news here is she has a quick look over it, and it appears to be the same, exactly the same design and all the rest as the previous one that she picked, which was comparatively easy. I think is hang a sec. Yes, you get a plus 30 to this roll because it's the same. It's the same type. Give me a mast picking lots roll, please.
41 plus 66.
It's mast. The lock turns.
Cool. So she'd like to pull the door open and then run over to right behind the plinth where the three guys are with Carrios and Demos and whoever it is over there.
Done. You open the door. Quite dramatic. And she runs. The door opens.
Anything spiky run out?
Nope.
Prepared for the wrong one, didn't we? Okay.
I'm gonna I'll go take a look. Someone's got to go take a look.
Well, you could just change your angle, couldn't you, and have a look?
Yeah, I'll wander out. I don't want to get too close and take a peek into the room and do a perception roll, see what I can see. Let's see if something has a go at me.
So you peer around your plinth. Give me a perception roll, please, Tarquin.
Great. 3 with his minus 25, but it's plus heaps, 105.
105 minus 25.
Okay, in that case, the roll is 28 in that case, Chris. So I rolled a 28. I'm just minusing 25
No,
off everything.
no. Remember, you don't minus off the roll because it's masked.
Oh, fine. Sorry, the roll is 28. My apologies.
28. 28 plus.
Which versus
105.
general perception is. Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Yep.
Really did it.
Yep. So we just go with the. So
Yep, easy.
Got it. You can't see anything in there apart from a circular room, Tarquin.
I'm going to keep wandering closer, perceiving like crazy, arrow on the bow, and I'm going to talking to people, telling them what I'm doing.
Sure. Inch closer. Closer.
Might ask Etienne if he feels brave to get a bit closer too. He's got a magic sword, hasn't he? He'll.
Yeah, 10 will come out. It's fine.
Cool, thank you.
Okay.
Have a peek around the corner.
You both. Etienne peeks around the corner.
Just a little peek. Yep.
Just a little peek. The room appears to be empty.
Ah. Great. Okay. In which case, Nyathana would like to go in and, she's going to have a good look around before she goes in and maybe just test the ground in front of her. And she'd like to perceive for traps, and she'd also like to perceive for hidden doors or of anything that may not be immediately. Check the ceiling, all that.
Okay, cool.
Tarquin will do the same.
Okay. So those two characters are heading in. Sure thing. Any other actions from anybody else? Anybody doing anything, saying anything, anything I need to be made aware of?
Etienne will be by the door with his sword out.
Yep. Got that. Anybody who hasn't spoken? Nope.
No, I think my guys would probably just be waiting where they are.
Okay. Cool. All right. Preference between Etienne between Tarquin and Nyathana, please. Who goes first? Is my question.
Oh, well, Nyathana would like to just have a perception in, test the floor before she goes in, just checking for traps. But yeah, she doesn't mind going first.
Okay. Give me a roll, please.
Looking at the ceiling, etc.
So a perception roll and a checking for traps roll. Do the perception roll. Do the checking for traps roll first, please.
60.
60.
60.
Yep.
Plus traps plus 65.
Yep.
And perception 87 plus 82.
Okay, roll that second one again, please.
82.
You rolled 82 again?
Yeah, again. Yeah. Well, that's my bonus, yeah.
Oh, sorry, your bonus, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, she checks the frame of the door. She looks at the doors themselves. She looks at the floor. She doesn't see anything that looks suspicious. Peering into the room, she thinks it's a completely bare chamber, bar one thing. Scrawled on the wall, quite high writing, letters about yay big, you're assuming they're letters, is a script. Quite short, perhaps 2 words, and it's in a language she can't read. It's scrawled in, looks like charcoal, or charcoal up on the wall. Other than that, she doesn't see anything in here. It is literally completely bare.
I think she might just get her Etch a Sketch out and just copy that one.
Sure.
Best she can.
Sure.
Just record it for posterity's sake.
Sure thing. Done. Tarquin, while Nyathana's doing that, can you give me a perception roll, please?
82.
82. Another 82.
That's weird, but true.
82. Okay, and 105 minus 25. Cool. Tarquin, you don't notice anything else in here other than the lettering, as mentioned. And even though you don't have particular skill in detecting traps, you don't see anything particularly suspicious either. Nothing that catches your attention.
Follow away, dagger out, slip into the room. That's
Okay.
not happening.
So Nathan's still sketching. Tarquin, you head into the room. Any other actions by anybody else?
Etienne can see me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other actions from anybody else? Anybody doing anything, saying anything? Oh, cool. Tarquin, you're inside the room.
And nothing happens, nothing extra to see.
No.
Good. He'll run his hand around the wall, see if he feels anything, look hard, and after that, leave the room, tell everyone there's nothing in there, nothing happened, boring.
Okay. By this time, Nathanal, you've done your sketch, put your sketchbook away after copying. Anything else you're doing?
Yeah, she'll just have a little look around the room with Tarquin, and once she's finished doing that, she'll come out and just tell the others they can come out from behind
Okay.
the plinth.
Come out.
And yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything in there, but she will tell them about this script on the wall. She thinks it's M.E.R.P again, but maybe someone could just check that. She said she's copied it. Someone remind me if we happen to stumble across someone who knows M.E.R.P. I don't know whether we obviously heard M.E.R.P spoken.
Yes.
Would we have like if she? No, she's no way of knowing. So yeah, it'd be nice to be able to
Could we say the words?
No, because we can't read them.
Well, I can read. I can say the words in Latin, but I can't read them.
That's because it's the same alphabet. This is
different. That's all I needed to hear.
Indeed.
Thank you.
What question actually, Chris? When we were with our guides and we came into Tarak Nev, we came across the statue of the goddess. What did our guides do physically and verbally when they were confronted with that statue?
They bowed. They appeared to be saying some kind of prayers, and they certainly lowered their heads.
Okay.
It's been probably about an hour, Mithan, by the time you healed people and Demos hobbled over and you took your positions, you'd think, after a check.
All the paranoia. Cool. She will come out tentatively behind her plinth, and I'm actually not clear on which wall she was perceiving when she got the try again later. That one there. Okay. Well, just by her. She would like to do another perception roll, please.
Sure thing. And what is she? Description of what she trying to perceive?
Anything unusual, particularly any hidden compartments, hidden doors. I don't know if and latches, levers, traps, anything unusual in the walls, floor, anything she can see.
Got it. Give me a roll, please.
77.
Cool. What's her skill?
Perception 88.
Yeah. This is weird. This wall is weird. This wall doesn't. This wall doesn't behave as walls should. So, Nathan, it was kind of something was kind of slightly bugging you before about it, and you weren't quite sure what it was. You lift up the tapestry and you look behind the tapestry. You'd done the same at the other end, and you'd come up and you'd put the dagger onto the wall and the tapestry, and nothing happened. But something had been nagging you about this wall, and it was something about the light here. And there's not a lot of light in this dim place. Remember, the sun outside kind of jerks spasmodically through the sky. Sometimes there are rays of light that come down. For example, the one that illuminated the golden top of this building that you're in. But the light doesn't fall right on this wall. More to the point, the wall doesn't behave correctly with the light. And then once your brain has got round that, you realise why, because you put your hand through the wall. The wall doesn't exist. But there is something beyond it.
He will alert everyone to that. Hey, you got a trick! What I can do. Yeah, she will alert everyone to that.
Well, a small round of applause for Nathaniel.
Mark down a
thing with your thumb.
Mark down a hard maneuver there, Mathan. Sorry, very hard maneuver. Very hard maneuver, actually.
Yo, thank you.
That deserves a.
Well, thank you for the prompt, because I'd forgotten that she... Yeah, thank you.
What do others do, please?
Well, what do you think we congregate back from the wall and...
Send Nathaniel through.
she did the last one.
Send Tarquin through.
Yeah, why
He
not?
must
He's
have been really far away and pushed Jamie Lynn through
Yep.
Jamie,
with a wig on.
so Demos, you limp up. Ow, ow, God, everything hurts. Ow, 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 everything hurts. And you push the spear through. Spear goes through the wall. Quite a neat trick.
Mm. He kind of waggles it around to see if there's anything just around that he bumps into or not.
No.
Nothing. Hmm.
Look, Tarquin was happy to try going through it. Only we've got to find out what's through here, face through.
Shall we, before Etienne says to Tarquin if he's offering, maybe what we should do is maybe tie a rope around you just in case you get whisked off somewhere else, or if we need to drag you back.
Very keen.
Get horribly mauled or something.
So Nathaniel will take a rope off and rope master a little lasso around Tarquin's neck, around his waist, and say Wookiees, and off.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I think Etienne would sort of go then loop the rope around himself too, and sort of go immediately behind Tarquin. And he'll obviously be able to feel any tremor on the rope, and he'll probably follow him unless the Tarquin's body just drops. Then he probably won't.
Okay.
I think Tarquin will be fully prepared, so we'll be moving 10%, and we'll tell people that if it all goes badly wrong, he's going to pass mine's door, and he's essentially going to jump 30 meters straight back into the room. But so he'll be ready to escape stage left if he needs to.
Okay, sure.
We are really trap shy, aren't we? Could he take the dagger?
Not that wide.
Do you think he should take this dagger we've got with us?
I don't think so. I think if
Okay,
it's
fine.
safe,
If it
we
is,
can
we'll
take it in afterwards.
Yeah, don't want to lose it. That's right.
Yeah. Mathan and Leif would want to line up along. Don't want to be directly behind Etienne or Tarquin. So weapons out, sort of flanking them to one side. Not too close, though.
Does anybody have any particular interest in where they're standing? Nathaniel, Keros, Gray, and Demos. Are you bothered?
I think either side.
Demos would prefer to be further to the back if possible.
Okay.
Keros would like a clean shot straight ahead, somewhere on that line, please.
Probably have to
Either
move over.
Yep.
Okay. And Nathaniel and Gray.
To the side, yeah. To the side.
Okay.
And she may as well start preparing.
Okay, sure thing. Okay, great. You make all those preparations, you stand in those locations. What happens, please, Tarquin?
So Tarquin will push his face and then his body through the wall and see what happens.
Yeah, okay.
Take a step forward. Moving at 10%, fully prepared.
Okay.
Fractionally anxious.
Fractionally anxious, sure. Okay. Is this going to let me? Yes, it is.
And I think Chris, he'd be talking, and the reason for that is he would have told people he would be talking. So his voice suddenly cuts off. They'll know there's something weird going on here. It's not just a illusion, so we'll know if sound crosses this barrier.
Okay. So you're talking. You can hear him, by the way, as he goes through the wall. Tarquin, I'm going to type some rather than ask people to head out and then head back in again. I'm going to tell you what you see. 1 second while I do so. Oh, that is handy. That's very handy. About. Just take me just a second or so to do this. Okay. Call them. Okay. This is what you see, Tarquin, coming into your chat now.
Okay, and he'll just call back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, says Etienne. What do you
presume
see?
they can, Chris?
What's that,
So
sorry?
I think if so Tarquin would say back, I seem to be in a room about 25 feet long and 18 feet wide with a long high table with crystals and knobs at the back. There's small skylights letting in a small amount of light. I'm going to enter the room further. And he'll do that to see if anything happens. I don't know how long this piece of rope is.
Quite long.
Nothing happens.
Etienne will go into.
Okay.
Thanks. And I think Tarquin probably wants to head towards the knobs on the table. He want to stay roped together to Etienne.
Okay.
And we'd be relaying information back to the others. I mean, I don't think there's any point in other people coming in just at the moment, is there? And obviously we'd be looking around for like a sword-like device.
Yeah.
Or a sword-like opening.
So, Etienne information coming. Oops, I'm just realizing.
We can see that.
Yes, just realized that. Thank you. Just realized. Thank you. Etienne's information in your chat too. Etienne, you go inside. You push your way through this weird wall.
Etienne would probably just stick his head back out, saying, "There's nothing immediately dangerous going on in here, so a few more perceptions might not go amiss."
Okay.
Do you want to come and have a look, and so we don't have to communicate by messages?
Yep. Leif will pipe up and say, "Do we need more light?"
It's quite dim in there.
Yep. So yeah, if that's the reply, then he will go. He's got a lantern, but he might want to conserve oil. He might go and ask Demos if he can borrow some candles.
Can't Etienne make a sword light up?
Wrong tin can.
Oh, sorry.
Leif can do a light spell.
Or we can just light a torch.
Oh, actually, I'm just being silly. Oh no, I can't help.
Actually, I think wouldn't be a bad idea to conserve torches and things just in case. You know what I mean?
Thank you,
Well, I've got
Pete.
a spell dark control, and I can make rooms lighter. So can I just check with you, Chris? It says lighter to its natural state, whatever that means.
This is probably as natural a state as it can be. Like it's dim. It's dim in here.
Okay, so obviously Tarquin will do some perceiving. He wants to see what he can see, anything in the room apart from what you described.
So, who is lighting something to see by, please?
Leif is going to spend 4 power points to light himself.
Okay.
He'll prepare and then cast his light spell.
Okay. Second, while I find Leif with a torch. There's Leif with a torch. Excellent. It's very big, but that's all right. Okay. Good.
A roll?
Yes, please. Give me a roll.
Yep. 27.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a light spell, 10-foot radius, so a 20-foot wide circle, 10 minutes per level, so 90 minutes. Got an hour and a half of light around him.
Okay, great. Damn, and I just put that on exactly the wrong map. I'm going to swap out map. 1 second, folks.
Should we all go in for the sake of just all being able to see? What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon.
Fine.
Yeah.
Is anybody? Well, yeah. Is anybody not?
Yep, let's go.
Yep, happy to walk through walls.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Does Victory have enough body mass to get through the wall? Is there any resistance?
There is this slight resistance. No, there is. It's almost in your mind was part of the thing to know that you can get through it. It was Mytharn that kind of, not kind of, it was Mytharn that cracked it to realize that actually, yes, you can move through. You can move through walls. 1 second, I just need a little bit more time to do some bits and bobs. There we go. And it was Leif that had the torch, had the light. Go. Nearly there. I'll even put the dead critter down the other ends. There we go. Cool. Just grab 1 more second. I'll just go back to I did a minute ago and just do it for the right map. And here with torches. There we go. That's what we wanted. Search. Chill out when the GM's talking to himself. Search. Where is Leif? I saw Leif. Leif with a torch. Good. Okay, so this is what you see, or will be in a second. Delete Leif. Shrink this Leif down a little bit. Here we go. So this is the room inside. You can see. Thus far, Tarquin, you've pushed your way inside. Etienne, you've stuck your head in. Leif, you've lit your light spell, went off successfully. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Who am I missing? 7. Who am I missing?
You hit Greg? Oh, yeah.
Greg.
Where's Neathanel?
Where is Neathanel? That's a good question? Can't see it.
Have you left her in the room in the corner?
No. No, that's her with a torch. That's Nathaniel without a torch. Thank you, good spotting.
Big Nathaniel.
Big Nathaniel. Just shrink it down. Oops. Go. Great. Thank you for putting up with the GM's technical matters. There you go. So, on this table, it doesn't look like that, but I just needed something with some objects on it. So there's something with some objects. There is that table. It's that size, approximately that size. And yes, on it, as described, is a long, high table, and it has a variety of crystals and kind of holes in the table and various knobs. And it looks like some of the crystals go into holes, and it looks like knobs turn and things like that. Other than that, there is a little bit of debris here. Other than that, and a couple of, I term them skylights. I'm not quite sure if that's the correct term. Quite thin slivers to the outside, up here and up here, just coming in. Other than that, that's the room. Looking back, your character, or Tarquin currently, and anybody else that goes in, just sees the wall.
Could Nathaniel case the room? Not the table at the moment. Just looking at the ceiling, checking the debris the roof isn't going to cave in or anything. And also just checking for anything in the floor or anything else moving in the mist.
Yeah, sure.
Leif will keep her company with his light if she wants it.
Light would definitely help in here. It's quite dim.
Walking beacon. Yep, please.
Anybody else having a look, or is it just Nathaniel at this stage?
Etienne will come in too.
Tarquin's interested in the stuff on the table. He's pretty tempted to have it fiddled, but he wants to have a good hard look. He wants to sort of see if things are connected to the table that might be free floating. And you see knobs, Chris, like stuff you turn.
Yep. So, sorry, I just want to get a sense of who's doing what. Nathaniel, you're looking around the room. Tarquin, you're not really looking around the room. You're focusing on the table. And Etienne has gone into here. Anybody else doing anything?
Harris will go in as well. Oh, sorry, Pete.
No, sorry.
Okay.
But then it'd stick her head in, but then stick her head back out, and she will be watching outwards.
Okay.
She's just watching the room. Particularly wants to keep an eye on our tunnel in.
Okay, sure thing. And Gray and Demos, any actions from yourselves?
Demos will just stay out with Mithan and just be another pair of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Gray would be interested in coming in and having a sniff around.
Okay. So Gray comes in. So I'll ask for a perception roll from Tarquin on the table, and a perception roll for Nathaniel and Gray, just generally in this room. Let's start with Tarquin on the table.
88.
88, very good. And he's 105 minus 25. So you look over this table, and yes, it appears as though some of the crystals seem to align to certain shapes. So certain shaped crystals seem to go into certain holes. There are some dials and switches and knobs and almost like levers that you would pull or move on the table.
I think when I was a kid, I had one of those toys. I had to put the things the right shape into the right hole, squares and stars. I mean, Tarquin, I don't think you need to do a memory check to remember how to do that.
Yeah.
Does any of it ring a bell or have any significance to him or anyone else?
Give me a memory or roll if you like, Master. Sorry?
26.
26. Okay. What's his memory, please?
0.
0. Yeah. Look, nothing's really springing to mind here. And can I get and there were 2 others, I believe.
I'll just ask one.
No, we'll come back to you, Tarquin. Who would like to go first? Either
I just
Niathan or...
rolled it.
Okay, what'd you roll?
57 plus 82.
Yeah. 2. Cool. And what is Gray's perception, please?
Gray rolled a 78 and his perception's 50.
Yeah, some information in both your channels, actually. In a second. If I can figure out, yes I can, I'm on the right screen. Okay, and then coming into Demos's as well. Oh, sorry, Gray's.
Good.
I haven't clicked go yet. Just hold your horses. So Gray coming into your channel now, and Niathanol coming into your channel now.
Yeah.
Gray, oh,
Go on.
you,
Go on, how you going?
Gray would feel kind of compelled to say that he feels like a bit uneasy. One of the flagstones seems a bit odd, and it's not quite sitting right. It feels like he's looking at him.
Yeah, Nathanol says, yeah, it's just odd. There's not something quite right about it. When you mean the flag, you mean something on the floor, Chris? There, okay. He says back away from, Nathanol says back away from that corner of the room quickly.
And all of a sudden, there is a gong, and emanating from down here is this black cloud, and it comes out. It's quite prompt and covers 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd like, so just as you've basically said move away, something has happened, and we are going to go into rounds. And I would like, please, Nathan would have been there to have a look. So Grey, Tarquin, where is Nathan? Nathan's there, and Leif. So Grey, Tarquin, Nathan, and Leif. Start with Grey.
Am I rolling?
Just one. Yep, just 1 second. Just one.
Mhm.
1 sec.
Cool.
Okay. Can you please give me a resistance roll against poison?
28.
28. Ouch. What level is poor Grey?
Level 8.
Level 8. Let's see. And...
Is it masked?
It ain't masked, unfortunately. Resistance rolls aren't masked. And
Damn it.
you are what level? You are 8th level? 8th level?
Yeah.
Is it? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And what is your poison, please?
Ooh, okay. Poison, where are you? It's plus 22.
28 plus 22.
Mm-hmm.
Grey.
Yes.
So these choking fumes into your lungs, but you shrug it off. This weird stone that you think was looking at you or something.
Yep.
There's just been this gas of black gas around you, but you managed to shrug it off. You're okay. The next please will go to Nathanal. And you are what level, please, Nathanal?
10.
10. Cool. Give me a roll, please.
62 plus 103.
Goodness, you are absolutely fine. No, you don't even sniffle as the gas comes over you. Tarquin, the same to you.
Yep. 14.
14.
And I'm impressed with a poison resistance of 103 because his is 9.
9. Okay. Tarquin,
I don't even know how
you are affected. Can you please roll 2d20 and take 2d20 hits, please? Give me a roll now.
How do I do it?
How do you do what? Sorry.
What do I put in? So maybe exclamation mark D 100 or whatever it is.
Yes, that's it.
Yep. So exclamation mark R2D20.
Cute.
And Pete, just while Giles is doing that, can you please?
5 and 1.
Yeah. 5 and 1, so 6. 6. All right. So Tarquin, yeah, that hurt. That really hurt your lungs, and you take 6 hit points. Cool. And then Leif.
Oh, rolled an 88.
88. You are fine. So that was the first thing that happened. And let me just roll my other dice to see if something else happens. Oop. Okay. Seven, 8. Okay, very good. Very good. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Next to act, please, is Tarquin. So Tarquin, you've taken some damage. The stuff has come into your lungs. The black cloud emanated from over here. What do you do, please?
Sorry, Chris, I had to pop out for a moment. I presume someone put it and poked over there and the black cloud came out.
I'm sorry, say again?
I presume that someone went looking over there and that's how this black
Yes,
Turn out of the
yes, yep, that's it. That's it.
ground. So I'd like to do either an advanced or a basic mathematics roll, because let's face it, what's the point having skills if you don't use them?
Sure.
And what he wants to look for are geometric similarities to try and help him figure out if there's a way of sticking or turning one of these crystals and sticking them into one of these holes in a way that would seem to make a logical geometric order.
Great. Excellent. Always good to use maths rolls. Give me probably just even a basic maths roll. That's fine. Unmasked. Let's go.
I want it to be masked. He
Okay.
rolled 18.
18. What's his skill, please, in maths?
Only 23.
23. Okay, I mean, it isn't a great roll, but this is not, you mentioned before being a young person and having these kind of puzzles. There's nothing particularly complex about this. You look at one crystal, I'm not sure if you pick it up or not, but you look at one crystal and it seems to quite logically fit into that hole. And there's several others that seem quite logical. That it doesn't appear to be any particularly complex problem.
I'm going to suggest to the others I do it.
Okay.
But maybe everyone except for one person wants to back out of his stage list in case we decide to smoke 10 packets of fags in a go.
Okay. And I'd say that's probably the end of your round. Moving on to... Oh, I actually read that incorrectly. Tarquin, you got a freebie. I read the thing incorrectly. It actually should have been Neathanel to go first. Never mind. Neathanel, it is now your turn.
Right, so this is a sort of gaseous type thing, she thinks?
Some gas has certainly come out of the ground, yeah.
And is it just like gas to her, or does it seem to have some sort of sentience, the way it moves?
It was gas. Well, she was choking a bit, and she wasn't affected.
Okay, sorry, where is the flagon, the stone?
Here.
Okay, she's going to move across the other side of the room from it. Right in the corner so she can get nearest the tapestry, so she can duck about how she wants, and she's going to start preparing.
Okay, great. I mean, that's a minimal roll, yeah, but I'll allow you that. That's cool. Grey Rough Winds. So you weren't affected, but you noticed this gas come out of the ground there, and you noticed the description that I gave you. What are you doing, please?
He would definitely want to kind of edge away from there, and he would probably encourage Tarquin to maybe move down away from there as well, just because he's still quite close to it, and it just is a weird thing, and he felt like it looked at him.
Okay.
So it feels like it could be alive.
Okay. Where does he move to?
Away from it. Probably towards, is that Neathanel at the end of the room? The other side of the room?
That's Neathanel. Yep.
Yeah. Kind of where Neathanel is, he'd be kind of more close to the wall if he could be, to the wall they can jump through if he needs to jump out of there.
Okay, Neathanel got pole position, I'm afraid, so you're going to have to go there.
Yeah, that's cool. He's
Okay.
willing to jump.
Okay, done. Leif.
Can I, sorry, not to belabor the point, one puff of gas, or it's not a stream? It's just one puff.
Just one puff.
Cool. Leif will go and say, I'm very keen to get out of here, but he will stay and he'll go and stand next to Neathanel, because he's got the light. And he'll say to Tarquin, fiddle away.
Okay.
But perhaps we want to leave?
All right. Very good. Next up is Keros. Keros, you've just seen this black gaseous cloud come out from under here, over here. What do you do, please? Very large flagstone over here that they're
If you'd
pointing
like
at.
to leave, please.
Okay. She hobbles out on her one good leg and she pushes her way throughout the door. Where does she go to?
Further away from there.
Okay.
And can she, with her 3 words, say "not very good"?
That's a very that's like she was there. You know, that's basically no distance, so she would have more than 3 words.
Not very good. Black smoke with eyes.
Okay, very good. Etienne, you're inside the room. You're here. What are you doing, please? Hello, Etienne.
Sorry. Yeah, he'll move back. And take cover behind the table. Yeah, just on there. Yeah, just a bit close on the end of the table. And then he. Yeah, I mean he'll start preparing as well.
Cool. Next up is Tarquin has already acted. Mithan, you've just seen Keros come out blithering something about black smoke and eyes. What do you do, please? You can't see in.
Sort of look puzzled and say, "Is everyone all right? Do you need to come out? I think you should come out." And she'll move away from the curtain a bit, or from the wall. Yeah. No.
Okay. Very good. And then next is poor Demos. Demos, what are you doing?
He'd like to limp a bit further away from the room next to Keros, and he's just thinking, no chance.
Okie dokie. Very good. Just do some other. Okay. End of the round. Next is rolling initiative. Okay. Tarquin. Can you please hang on a sec? Okay. Tarquin, can you please make a channeling resistance roll?
What do I need to roll this? Is it D100?
Yes, it is. And what level are you, please?
Do I want to roll high, lower, and different?
What level are you, please?
9.
9. Cool. Give me a roll. You want to roll high?
Here we go. Let's see if everyone can laugh at me. 53.
53.
Laugh at me.
Cool. And what's his channeling?
Plus 23.
Plus 23. Cool. Okay. All good. Very good. Nathaniel. What do you do? Hello, Nathaniel.
Sorry, I thought I'd hit the unmute. He will risk casting.
Okay, sure thing. It's with one.
So one round.
Yep.
10.
10. 10 minus 15 for 1 round prep. And what is her? Does she have base spells? Some professions have it, some professions don't have the skill.
No, I don't think so.
She does not. Some professions don't. That is a spell failure. Roll the spell failure, please. Is it an offensive spell or a non-offensive spell?
Don't know, really. It's focused wind.
Is it does it have a force next to it? A force? Is it considered an F spell?
Hang on. Yes.
Okay, so it's an attack spell. Give me a roll, please.
19.
19. No dramas. The strain causes caster to lose concentration. The spell is lost, but not the points. You're lucky, not even stunned. That's it for your round. Leif.
Leif would like to. I don't know what he's sort of wanting to do opportunity action.
Mm-hmm.
Stay or go based on what Tarquin does, or if we're attacked.
Okay.
I know that's too vague.
It is too vague.
Yeah, he's
But to be
Basically-
fair, you know what Tarquin's going to do because it's pretty obvious, right?
But if something nasty happens as a result of what Tarquin does, Leif wants to leave.
So what's the trigger for you to act, please?
Him feeling in danger. That's probably still too vague. Actually, can he make his decision at the end of the round?
That is
So
an
make-
opportunity.
can-
That is an opportunity action. So
Oh, he can't change his action for 10% at the end.
suppose you can. Yeah, I guess. Yep.
So at the moment he'll hold, but he's thinking about leaving.
Okay.
That's.
Yep. It's kind of gaming it, but no, you really do need to tell me.
Yep. Yeah. No, for sure. No. That's cool.
No. I suppose waiting and then no, because I need to know what the penalty's for if you decide to change the action.
So he's staying.
Yes.
If he changes, he's leaving. If
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm happy to make it more
Yeah.
specific.
No,
and that's,
no. Let's
fine.
just move on. Gray, what are you doing, please?
He is very nervously watching what is happening, and he's just preparing.
Okay. Great. Mithun. Move back.
No, just everything all right in there. What are you doing? But no,
Yeah.
no action.
Okay. Tarquin.
Okay, so how many of these crystal and whole things are there, Chris?
There would be 12 crystals and 12 either knobs or switches.
Oh, I see. And the knobs and switches line up to the crystals, so it's not holes that you drop the crystals in.
There are some. There are some holes that you drop crystals in. Apparently so.
So I could pick a crystal up and drop it in a hole, or I could turn a knob next to a crystal.
Yes.
Are they in a line?
They're interesting you ask. Yeah, they're kind of groups together in groups of 12.
Okay. Well, and I presume we've seen lots of signs and symbols. I presume that Tarquin recognises none of them. He's kind of looked at that already. I'm asking you.
Well, there's no question there. I don't understand the question.
Well, we've seen a number of symbols, particularly 9 of them in various maps all over the place. Are any of those symbols that Tarquin recognises?
What symbols? There are no symbols.
Okay.
No, there's crystals, not symbols. You might have misheard. Crystals,
Right.
not symbols.
Tarquin is going to take the third crystal and push the knob, lift the trigger, drop it in the hole, whatever it is that it seems like there is to do.
Okay, sure thing. Very.
And I've got a 10-second round. Presumably this is going to take like 1 second
Yeah,
to do.
sure. Yep.
Okay, what I'm going to do with the other 9 seconds depends on what happens.
Okay. Nothing happens from what you can see.
We move on to the... How much of my round is that going to consume?
You could probably. No, you could probably do 3. I mentioned there are 9 sections here. You could probably do 2 or 3 with each round.
Oh, whoops, hang on, sorry. He's going to do it for the 8th one.
Okay, done. Cool. You duly do so. Nothing appears to happen. Next, please.
No. So how much of my round have I got left?
Oh, you've got another, call it another 40%. Hello? Hello, hello,
No,
hello.
So, okay, I think presumably Tarquin has taken a step or two down the table to get to knob number 8. Or has he stayed exactly where he is?
No, he would have moved down a little bit. Yep, down there.
Okay, and so with the last 40% of his action, I think what he wants to do
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before, so I might need your help, Chris.
Yeah, sure thing.
I've just got to find it. So he has a spell called Body Control, which adds 50 to any one maneuver.
Uh-huh.
It's an instantaneous spell,
Yes.
so we'll use 10% of his action.
Yes.
And essentially what he wants to do is throw himself backwards and land safely as far as he can, ideally back out through the wall.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Can that work?
Read the actual description of the spell, please.
Okay, adds 50 to any one maneuver involving balance or contractions, whatever that is.
It's moving through a tight space. So that's not at all to do with pushing him backwards or anything. That's him wiggling through a tight space, or him balancing on a narrow branch or something like that.
He's gonna toss himself backwards. He doesn't like this big cloudy eyeball thing.
Okay. For his remaining 40, he pushes himself out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. You're now outside the room, Tuck.
Cool. Yeah.
Keros, you are next. You are out here.
Yeah, she's staying out there.
Okay.
And would be encouraging other people to leave if they could as well.
Okay.
Like, come out here, team. Come join us. Let's get away from the smoke with eyes. Yeah, definitely wants people out of there.
There's no smoke, by the way. It's gone. I should have said that smoke is dissipated. The cloud is
But
dissipated.
it was there. It was there.
Okay. Any other actions for
Hang on,
Keros?
stop. I just threw myself away from nothing.
Yeah, there was a gas of cloud. It dissipated. It's gone.
I think I would have done something quite different if I'd known that, like twisted in on an hold. But don't worry, I don't want to do either.
Keros.
She probably just, not going to do anything and just wait for everyone to come out because she hopes they all come out safely.
Cool. Could I ask you, please, Keros, to give me a perception roll?
Good. And then I'm probably going to have to head to my sleep after this. I'm sorry, I've got a big day tomorrow. Oh, hang on. Exclamation mark R roll D 100, right? Oh, wait. My R's not working. Hang on.
Yeah, it's a dodgy
there we go.
laptop.
That's why I didn't. 41.
Okay. What's your perception?
35. Boo.
Yeah, enough. Keros, you have noticed that, and you're kind of glancing around the room kind of nervously, you've noticed that over here, on this plinth, is a strange kind of apparition. It's kind of it's see-through, but you can see it, and you could, if you didn't think you are going stark raving mad, you think it might be a giant ant.
Don't want to see a giant ant.
It's right here. It's stationary. It's completely stationary.
And it's see-through.
It's semi see-through. Yes.
And bigger than a person.
Yeah. About the same size as these other statues here.
Does it see us? Does it look sentient?
Nope.
A sentient see-through ant doesn't see us?
Doesn't appear to.
Do I think it's alive, or do I think it's a statue? A see-through statue?
Well, you don't think it's alive.
Oh, that's good. Do I have time to relay this on my round?
Yep.
I'll just say, hey team, giant ant to your right.
Great.
Can any? Do I feel threatened though? Like it's not going to come eat us or anything?
Doesn't seem to be. It's just
Oh.
like a giant, kind of slightly translucent ant.
There's a giant, slightly translucent ant in the back of the room, or maybe it's just me
It's here.
over there. Please let me know if somebody else can see that.
Mids aren't
Not
working.
just me.
All right.
No, that's it.
That would be it for.
Hey,
Is that it for Keros?
yeah, and that's it for Alex as well. I'm really sorry to bail. I know it's not good for the team. Sorry, team.
Do we have a taker?
Thank you, Giles. Just shoot stuff.
Thank you, Giles.
I can do that.
Thank you. Just shoot stuff
Nice one. Thank you.
and find some cool spells I haven't looked at yet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sweet.
Good luck with the giant translucent ant.
Sweet dreams, Alex.
Thank you. Bye, team.
Bye. Etienne, you hear Alex now gibbering. You're standing here gibbering something about a giant translucent ant.
Okay, I think that'll be a trigger enough to leave the room, because from that he might think there's actually a creature out there, so he would leave the room and draw a sword, urging the others to leave too, to attack the beast.
Okay, sure thing. And yes, indeed, over here, there is on this plinth, there is a ant-like creature would probably be a decent description. Its height would be approximately the same size as that, or that, kind of rearing up on its hind legs, and it's kind of as Keros described. It's slightly translucent, maybe a very slight greenish touch to it, and you can partially see through it. Anything else you're doing, Etienne? Your movement out there was very minimal.
I think he'd offer this thought that whatever Tarquin did made this happen. Let's maybe huddle away from the false wall and get a plan together.
Okay, great. Next up is Demos. So Demos, you've seen the direction that Keros has pointed. So there.
Can you see the thing?
Demos, could you give me a perception roll as well, please?
Sure. 62.
62. What is his perception?
His is 50.
Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, what does he do? He doesn't notice anything particular.
Doesn't notice anything. He's just gonna still kind of be wary of that area, and he's gonna.
Oh, he sees the critter that Keros is pointing to. He does see that.
Oh, he does see it.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, he'll say, "I can also see it," and then he's gonna move back, with his spear raised.
Okay.
Not to the side, but back towards the camera. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Moving on down my list, that is the end of the round. End of rounds. rolling initiative. Nyathel, you are in this room. What are you doing?
Well, she sees the fast diminishing group and thinks, bugger this game of soldiers. Here's also the Etienne wants to make a plan, so we'll exit wall left.
Okay, done. Goes here, maybe? I don't know. You tell me.
Yep, to the left. Left of the group. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
She will, actually, she'll move a bit closer to the, if she's got some momentum, she'll move a little bit closer to the statue over there and just see if it's moving.
Okay.
Maintaining a sort of polite distance of 30 feet.
Okay, so somewhere over here. Cool. Next up is... So, yet again, there is... this noise. I might just switch this down. Here we go. So yes, the gong sounds. Grey Rough Winds, you are here. What are you doing?
Well, he's not going to stay in the room. He's going to leave the room, and he's going to try and kind of pull Leif with him out of the room and get to where the others are.
Okay, sure thing. Easy.
And can he pull Leif as well?
Funny enough,
If
it's
Leif is
Leif's turn next. So Leif, your call. What's happening?
Happy to go. Leif would want to glance at the paving, the flagstone, to see if more gas is coming out with the gong.
Yep. Can you give me a perception roll, please?
Sure. $59.
59. 59. And what's your perception, please, Leif?
57.
There's no more gas in here that you can see.
Okay. Yeah, cool. He is happy to leave the room. On going out, if he clocks the ants, I don't know how much of his round he can use, but if he clocks the ant thing is sort of on one of those plinths and not moving, he would make the connection that's perhaps something that Tarquin did.
Okay.
And if he's got any of his round left, he would express that and want to look at the rest of the plinths to see, because he's seen Tarquin do two things.
Yep.
So if he's got any action left, but he would certainly say 2 crystals, 2 translucent ants.
Yeah.
Something.
So give me another roll, please. Give me another.
$78.
Cool. And what's his perception?
57.
Cool. Yeah, sure enough. Down here on this plinth, there is what appears to be a figure, probably a bit too distant to make out, a humanoid figure. You think you can maybe, actually it was a good roll, so you can actually make out a crown, you think. And again, there is this kind of strange translucent, almost mildly greenish tint to the figure. The figure is stationary. And the figure would be the same approximate size as these ones.
Thank you. If he's got any more action left, he'll point it out or say something, but
Yep.
at least gesture. Yeah,
Cool.
thanks.
Next, Demos.
Demos is just gonna. He's not really in the. He's not really in the. Not that he's not in the mood. He's just not really feeling up to being in any kind of battle. So he's gonna try and I guess, kind of limp into the middle of the group so that he's, but with Janie Lynn out. He's ready to help if he has to, but he doesn't want to be at the front.
All right, cool. Done. Keros is next. Giles, thank you very much for stepping in. Much appreciated.
She does not need to prep to cast, does she?
She doesn't need to, no, correct. She doesn't need to prep, so she starts with a +0. Of course, with prepping, if you really want the spell to go off, you get a plus. Always forget this. A plus for the spell casting. You get a +10 for 3 rounds prep, so 1 round prep for her, or +20 for 4 rounds prep, which would be 2 rounds prep for her.
And it's an instantaneous. It just does it only use 10% of her action to cast, or 75 if it's a normal spell?
If it is a normal spell, it requires 75%. If it's an instantaneous with an asterisk next to it, it's a 10%.
Okay. Can you show me the line from Keros to the ant? Like, how far is it?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly.
Cool.
It is 50 foot. Oh, no, it's not. Hang on. Let me...
Keros isn't there, is she?
Keros is there. Yeah, it's 50 foot. 51 feet, 0.7 to be precise.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm going to briefly consult because I'm not Alex. I think Alex can fire a shot put better. Oops.
Sorry, I missed that. You were saying you're wanting to consult.
Yeah, I think Alex would fire a shot put at the end. I'm trying to think what Alex would do. Or do you think she'd just opportunity action and wait to see what happens during the round?
Coordinate.
I think she established it's not alive, because that was the question she was asking, and it wasn't moving.
So, Chris, I think Karis can we have an opportunity action, and the opportunity will be an aggressive action by either the ant or the other thing, and if that happens, she'll fire a shot put at them.
Done. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Easy. Etienne.
Does Etienne notice Carrios preparing?
Nope.
Okay. He'll postulate the theory that these are statues that are appearing, and that obviously, having put 2 in, the 2 have appeared. They don't appear to be moving. Suggests we ascertain that they are just mirages or statues and won't do us any harm before we do anything. Once we've established that, perhaps we could talk about ways of dealing with the black cloud creature and think around what we will do when we put the rest of them in and where we should be and what we should do, etc. But first, let's just establish these things on the plinths aren't going to come and eat us.
It's probably about 3/4 of your round. You got about 30% left. Anything else?
Okay. Well, he'll move towards the apparition nearest the ant.
He'll move towards the ant.
Towards the ant.
It's still out there. Cool. Mithun. Oops.
Mithun will actually sort of ask, yeah, sure, what happened in there?
Yep, good question.
But yep, sure. I mean, she trusts the party and trusts Etienne to be doing what's right. So she'll sort of tag along behind Etienne to back him up, but be sort of like, what actually happened in there and wanting a response, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come to when people get people's turn. I am going to stick to rounds, by the way. So she'll probably get a response to that, and then anything else she's doing.
No, she's just got to sort out, and she'll if she needs to respond and ask more questions based on what someone tells her, she will. But
cool.
No, she'll just follow it. She'll just stay behind Etienne and not want to get past him.
Done. Tarquin, you are last. What are you doing, please?
10% glance and 90% prep.
Done. Give me a glance.
63.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
105.
105 minus your 25. 216. Cool. You have a glance around in your and negative 30 because it's a snap perception. You have a quick scan, Etienne. Tarquin. Nothing else appears that you can see anyway has appeared to have changed in this room, and that giant bag does not exist. That is the end of that round. Moving into the next round. Initiative. Nethril.
Right. She said she would talk to the party and say she can offer a shield, a solid air wall that will stop. Put minus 50 on spell attacks. And it's a wall of highly compressed air, shimmering, transparent. Very hard strength for me to move past. That would deflect spells up to 50. Has anyone got anything else that they could block that thing on the floor with? Better than that.
I'm going to stick to rounds, but rather than necessarily go person by person, if you guys want to have a conversation, we'll run the conversation for a bit longer. But is anybody acting this round? I know Tarkin was preparing last round. Is anybody acting this round, or are you wanting to speak?
The only thing Gray was going to do was to walk closer towards where the ant one was. He'd be interested just to kind of assess if it wasn't an animal, and maybe about there probably, and give it a good sense check.
Okay.
Make sure it wasn't alive.
Etienne just wants to see it moving, just right-wise.
Sorry, I missed that from Etienne, please. What was that again?
Oh, it just wants to see if it's moving. He's just moving a bit closer to look at it and just see if there's any kind of movement.
Got it. Okay. So a perception roll from Gray, perception roll from Etienne. Really, you can just see if it's moving or not. Anybody else doing anything as opposed to perhaps speaking or answering Nathan's question? Prep. Okay. So Tarquin, you are fiercely concentrating. When you are concentrating, you can probably speak a bit, but not a lot. Roll, please, the perception from Gray, and no, I'm not going to say Etienne needs a perception. The perception from Gray, please. And then
97.
97. It's good roll. It's a shame it's masked. What's his perception, please?
His is also 50. He's just trying to ascertain if it's alive, if it's an animal.
Okay.
Maybe even if he smells something that smells animally or not.
So 100% Gray and Etienne, you are pretty convinced of this. Ant-like creature. It's not exactly an ant, but ant-like creature is certainly not alive. Well, it certainly doesn't appear to be moving in any way. And then please feel free for a bit of time, and then I'm going to call time and we'll end that round. A bit of time to answer Nathan's question and have a general discussion.
Leif would want to, part of that general discussion, would just give a brief summary of what happened inside the room for Mithan.
Okay.
Black smoke watching us. Weird. Tarquin put 2 crystals into the table.
And twiddled some knobs.
And twiddled some knobs. And the gong went, and then 20 or so seconds later, it went again. Mithan would say she can do a wood wall, if that's helpful. It's like a solid barrier.
Would that stop a gas? It might not, right? Don't know.
It might not.
But I do wonder if, I'm curious, this vacuum spell would be particularly potent in an attack on a gas creature, right? It creates a vacuum, which presumably can be cast within its, so it's going to essentially crush it from the inside out. I don't know how this game manages an attack like that, but it seems to me like the perfect spell against a gaseous creature.
Have you got the description?
Give me one sec. Oh, I just had it a second ago. Keep talking, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'd suggest that it looks like these are statues, so I think probably we need to disable that creature so we can be relaxed enough to plonk the rest in and see what happens. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And think about where we want to be, so if we need to get out, we can get out. But hopefully with them all activated, that'll do something positive.
I think Leif will contribute. I think the gong means something.
Well, yeah, there's summoning the next statue, yeah. But once we get all of the statues up...
No, because the gong went before the smoke came out. Wasn't when the crystals went in the holes.
Oh, wasn't it? We had
Correct
two
me if I'm
gong...
wrong, but
And I'm going to call time there. That's the end of that round. Next round. Rolling initiative.
I'm wrong. Carius doesn't have that spell.
Neathanol is first to act or speak. Again, let's do the same format as last round. Any actions this round I should be aware of other than having a conversation.
All right, she's going to say, we need to deal with this creature, and she's going to start preparing.
Cool. Any other actions? Anybody else other than speaking? Going once.
Etienne will come back if he's established that thing isn't moving, and will ask what spells have we got to deal with this creature.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Carius will say she has a spell called Cool Breeze. It causes a light cool breeze that will disperse gaseous matter.
What? Yeah. Neathanol's also got focused wind.
Ray also
We
has the
should try
barrier
one.
law. We want more air walls, but it's kind of it.
I think we just go for it. I think put your air wall up and maybe do some breeze to waft it away.
Well, I think the air wall will stop spell attacks, so you probably want to coordinate it so Carios attacks it, and whoever else can attack it, assuming it can be attacked. And then I can put a barrier up, but that will only put a -50 on spells. And obviously, I can cast a wind, a strong, forceful wind that would possibly blow back the smoke, but we're not getting at the nub of the problem, which is whatever is in there. If it's undead, obviously Etienne's can help with trying to repel it.
Is it coming out of a hole in the ground or something, or did it just appear?
It's got an eye, so it's some sort of maybe formless enemy. I don't know, but it's.
If it came from somewhere, can we put a plug in the hole, like a wood wall or a barrel of some description?
Tarquin just sit on it, I reckon.
Okay, I'm gonna.
He's a bit vacuous.
Anyway, time's ticking, right? So, Nathanol can cast that either the wind or the wall. I think we need an offensive spell to attack it. That's what she thinks.
Leif will suggest, what about one of Curios's cold balls? Because it's area of effect, so even if it's under the ground, it might still get caught.
Yep, happy to do that. Good idea.
I don't know.
Is this thing back out at us? Have we actually seen the gas baddie?
It may be coming out behind us right now. I mean, this is why we've got to act, I think. So,
Okay, I'm going to call time on that round. So ending that round. Next round.
Move away from.
Rolling initiative. Again, there is this noise. Next to act is the ethanol.
Well, she'll keep preparing. I think someone needs to check it out. So she's preparing, so she's not going to be her. Yeah, I need to know what's going on.
Okay. Next person is Grey Roughwind.
Does the sound of the gong, does it always come from the same place, or
Yes.
is it coming from like?
Yes.
Okay.
It's always
Okay.
coming from here. Coming from this area.
Was there any plinth that didn't have like a statue appear on it? Is there any new statue that has appeared?
Yep, there's two. There's the ant, and then there is the humanoid down here.
Oh yeah, but there's no other new apart from those two.
No.
Any new ones that you can see?
No.
Okay. Well, he'd just probably prepare because he's not really sure what's happening, so he'd just be prepared for anything.
Done. Wait.
Ready to cast.
Leif will double check that Nathan wants someone to go and check in the room. If he gets a scent from her, he will go and stick his head back through the wall to have a look.
Where does he go?
Yeah, he'll go to the far, the other one. Actually, he'll go to the perfect. Yep, not the centre, but a bit just by Tarquin. So not. Yeah.
Okay. And he looks inside?
He's going to stick it just his head through, and then just so not actually not entering, but.
Okay. Give me a perception roll, please.
Where am I going here? 19.
Very good. Remember.
Would be.
What's his bonus?
57.
Okay. You don't see anything inside this room.
Well, he'll pull his head back out and say, "I still don't see anything."
Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on. Sorry. Take that back. What was he looking for? Is probably a better.
He will be looking. Well, he's looking at the flagstone, particularly.
Right.
Where the gong was coming from, and he's looking for gas or anything unusual that wasn't there before.
Okay. So there's no gas. There's absolutely no gas in here.
Yep.
That flagstone, and you do have the advantage of the light.
Yep.
You see what your companions mean. It looks odd. Does it look slightly fleshy? Could you imagine if stone had flesh? Soft stone? And you get the sense that it knows the hairs on the back of your neck, Leif, start to prickle. It something knows you're there.
Thank you. He will pull his head back out and he'll say, "Yeah, see what you relay that. If he's got action, it looks fleshy. There's something there. Yuck."
So it's zappable.
Sorry.
Zappable.
Let's zap it. Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Maybe a lightning.
Next to act is Mithun.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go particularly anywhere near it. She will go. Yeah.
Do that thing, okay? Do it. Do the thing.
Patch you up after.
Yeah, I'll be there with the bandages. Okay, good. Very good.
No action. Oh, she does have her sword and shield out, just by the way. Yeah.
Cool. Still haven't quite figured out what people do with bows. Oh, she's got a yeah. What does Keros do, please?
I think on the basis of what Leaf has said, she might iceball Mr. Fleshy. So can I, just so I know how this works, Chris, it has a 20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
So if Carius takes a step to fire between, I think it's Mathan and Timoth.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by standing between the two of them, essentially there's nobody that she can hurt. And then fires kind of through that little sort of crack in the curtain.
Well, she's firing into a wall, don't forget.
Well, if we know it's not a wall, it's an illusion.
Okay. You know it's a wall, not an illusion? Okay, cool.
Well, we know it's an illusion, not a wall, actually. Yep.
Yep.
So that's about where she should be firing. Can you show me what a 20-foot radius from there is like?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you. Oh, that's weird. Oh man, it's huge. Can she make it smaller?
Can she make it smaller? I don't believe Spell Mastery could do that. But she doesn't have Spell Mastery. No, it's 20 foot.
I guess she can't fire it into. I don't really know how I should know how the spell works. I guess she can't fire it.
I'd also give you a polite heads up because you're very, very kindly stepping in for someone else's character. If you're just going to lob it through the wall, she'll be firing blind. So I'd give you significant penalties to where you're going to aim because she can't actually. She can guess, but it's a guess. It's like kind of lobbing a hand grenade.
Yeah. Okay, I think what she might say to the party then is, shall I go into the far end of the 25-foot room so I can see and fire a cold ball, which will require Leif and Tarquin to get the H out of the way. You said it was 25 by 18, right?
Yeah. Can one of my characters respond?
Sure. Yep.
More directed Carrios, lightning. One of your directed spells.
Which are her directed spells? Hang on.
So absolutely stepping in to help you. Directed spells are things that are bolts. Shock bolts, ice bolts, fire bolts, etc.
So she only has ice bolts, so she could fire. Oh, and she has shock bolts, so she could fire shock bolt or ice bolt at it.
So just to again helping because you're stepping and playing someone's character, not trying to game it. Shock bolt, she's definitely better at. You can see on her skills, she's better at it, but it's a less effective spell. Water bolt, ice bolt, she's not so skilled at, but it's a much more dangerous spell.
And will she get a minus firing blind?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. She can't see a target, right?
But I've had it. Leaf has described it, and she said, "Oh, she hasn't stepped into this room, has she? So she doesn't know where it is."
No, she has been in there, but she's still.
So she's stepped into the room. She knows where it is.
Yeah.
Right, so she can visualize it in her mind. Okay, fine. Look, I think she's going to step between these two and take a shot.
Okay, so I'm going to be completely giving you a massive minus on that because he can't actually see your target. Just so you know.
Sure.
Would Carrios know that? Because Carrios knows she needs to see the target.
Carrios,
it's like firing a gun. You can't.
Yeah, it's like firing a gun. Correct.
You need to see the target.
I mean, you can fire it blind if you wish, but you're going to get a very substantial negative because you can't.
10, 100, 150. Are you able to give me a sense of what you mean?
Say again, sorry.
When you say very large, can you give me a numerical figure?
At least -90, because you can't see where you're aiming.
Complete waste of time. Okay, that's super helpful. Carrios will position herself right at the far end of the room, but not in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, yep, perfect. Yep, maybe a step closer, so she's still got the actual wall a step further away from Leif.
Yeah, got it.
Yep, and I think that's how much of her action has that taken?
That was 20. That was 20 foot. She can walk 50 and around, I believe. So that'd be
So
about
she's
half. She about half her round. What's her base movement rate? It's quite significantly reduced. I think it's 40.
Yeah. She's not going to be able to cast. That's all I wanted to know. Fine. That,
Yep.
I think that's all she'll do.
Cool. Done. Next is Tarquin.
He really wants to sit down and eat pie. I think he's going to head off towards the ant creature, the other creature, to go take a little peek at it. I think he wants to kind of get out of the way.
Your mic is quite muffled, Giles. So the ant creature or the other one? I couldn't quite hear.
The other creature.
The other one. Sure thing. Cool. So Tarquin, you start heading off. You walking about 50 foot around or so? So you get down to about
here. Where is this creature?
This new figure is this plinth here.
Yeah. So he's taken back. He's going to use 70% of his action to move.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 30% he's going to perceive, and he's going to use all of his backwards. Yeah, back about 15, 20 feet, because he's only using 70% to move.
Yep.
And he's going to use 30% of his action to perceive, and he wants to look for any signs of life movement or anything that would suggest the thing is anything other than a statue.
Sure thing. Give me a roll.
And does he get to add 20 to this because he's looking for something specific?
Yes. Yep. He's looking specifically at the statue for signs of life. It's very specific.
He rolled a whopping 18.
Remember, it is masked.
Yippee.
Plus 105 minus 25. So he spends
plus 20. Gonna take it.
So he spends a good amount of time staring at the statue. He doesn't see any sign of movement whatsoever.
Okay, fine. So his 3 words will be hollering back over his shoulder, statue ain't moving.
Cool. Excellent. Demos.
Where is he? Where is Demos? He honestly, he's not really doing a whole lot. I think he's not really much used to anyone at the moment. So he's just being eyes and just looking around and just making sure nothing's going to come at them.
Cool. Very good. Could you give me a perception roll?
Sure. 41.
And what's his bonus? What's his bonus, please?
50.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Moving on.
Cool.
Etienne. Hello, Graham.
Sorry. Okay. Well, he's preparing for the second round. He's going to start shuffling towards the 2 characters who are on the periphery there, who are also waiting to step in.
Okay. About 9 or so foot. About there. Yep.
Yeah. So
that is the end of that round. Rolling initiative. Nathaniel. Your turn.
Also preparing, and we'll also shuffle in
10
behind them.
10 or so, 6 or so foot. About there. Yep. Just preparing the preparation shuffle. Okay. Leif.
He is going to be ready to pull anyone out.
Okay.
Sounds weird.
Okay.
But, if someone sticks their themselves in and they don't sort of come back out, he's going to be ready to go. Yeah, basically.
Cool. Great.
Was that great?
Yes.
Yeah, he's just going to keep preparing.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll ask for a perception roll from you too, please. What's the roll?
Is it great?
Yes. What was the roll for Grey, please? Perceiving.
Oh, sorry. No, 12.
12. Yep. And his perception is, please.
Also 50.
Cool. Thank you. Nathan.
She would like to have a look around the room.
Mm-hmm.
But she hasn't done that yet. She particularly wants to look at the end. She's worried it's getting more solid, but she wants to look around the rest of the room as well.
Give me a perception roll.
22.
22. 22. And her bonus, please.
88.
She is peering at the ants, and yeah, looking hard at the ants. She is pretty convinced that it is not getting more solid. Bit more information in Mithan's chat as well.
Cool, thank you. Can she share that? She's got an activity to share that?
Yeah, she's got enough. Yep.
Cool, thank you. She will lower her voice and say, "Oh, can I hear something from outside?"
Okay.
So she'll want to speak, and if she's aware of where, she's just perceived the room, I guess. So, want her voice to at least reach Tarquin, because I think he's the furthest away.
That's a shout. That's
okay. No,
that,
she'll.
That is well, that's
true.
That is something like it's 50 foot away. It's a long way.
Yeah, no, she won't. No, she won't shout, but she'll say it loud enough so that people close can hear, and she'll gesture at Tarquin, like, go and tell him, sort of, this is talking about outside our melted tunnel, outside the main doors, or
she might be wrong, but she thought she heard something out here. Maybe
out there. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Tarquin, what are you doing? You've checked this plinth with this figure on it. You are very convinced it's not moving.
He's gonna use half of his action to move, or 30% of his action to move back. So now he knows that that thing is essentially a statue.
Mm-hmm. There, yep.
Okay. Yeah, and then he's going to spend the other 30% of his action. He's going to close his eyes and listen.
Now, why would he do that?
Because he's looked everywhere, he's concerned about risk, so he's touched the walls in this place. The only sense he's not used is the sense of listening. I'm happy for you just to say I can't do it, Chris, and in that case you'll do a 30%.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He's done everything around.
30% general perception, because at this stage he doesn't know that Mithan is.
Sure.
Give me a roll.
14.
14? Yeah, that is definitely gaming it.
Yeah, no worries, man.
14, yep. So 105 minus 25. You don't see or hear anything, Tarquin.
Okay.
Etienne.
Okay, he's what, 2 rounds in.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he at the moment?
So he'll shuffle a little bit closer, please, and prepare one more round.
Sure.
Can he get into the room on the next round?
Yes. Yeah. Just. Yes. Yes, he
Okay.
can. Yep.
Alright.
Demos is next. Anything from him?
He's just straining to see if he can hear anything from outside.
Give me a roll.
He's hoping that with all his other senses dulled by pain, his ears are super good with a 15.
He's at negative 100, don't forget.
Yeah, and he's just rolled a 15.
Yeah, don't forget it's must, but yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Plus 50, minus 100. Yeah, he's in a lot of pain. Actually, I did forget to minus the 100 from a couple of his perception rolls, so you got a couple of freebies, but he didn't see anything. But yeah, he is in a lot of pain.
Okay.
No, nada. And then
Ouch.
lastly is Keros.
He's going to step through the wall.
She's going to step through the wall.
How much action is that going to take?
I'm going to nothing.
Fine. So she's going to fire
Done.
a witchery bolt. The more powerful, slightly less accurately one.
Yep, ice bolt. Give me a roll.
Thank you.
She can now see the target. She saw the gas where it came from. She is good to go. Give me an attack roll, please.
A massive 14.
Max of 14. Okay. And 14. Using an ice bolt, which was already up on my screen. She has 100, I believe, for an ice bolt.
Just checking. 90 is her ice bolt.
90 is her ice bolt. I don't believe it. Still managed to do a crit. 4 in an A impact. And
You keep an eye on the stats for
yes,
Alex.
yes, I will.
Thanks.
Yes, I will. And good shout. Thank you. Hang on. Do I have? Do I? I do. You ready? Crunch. Give me a please.
And I need to roll a 66, is that correct?
You want it high, and a 66 would be handy.
66! No, 15.
15. Two more hits. So the interesting thing is, you are blasting in your mind a flagstone, Keros, and of course, your character doesn't actually know that you've just got experience from hitting a flagstone, but you just did some damage. Boomfa with your hand.
So, and with her laugh, whatever it is, 20% of her action or something, she's going to step back through the wall.
Done. Easy.
And she's going to look for Demos, isn't she? Is it Demos? Or is it Grey? I keep getting them mixed up.
Grey.
It's Grey, isn't it?
Yep.
You're going to be looking and wondering why Grey isn't coming over to give her a cuddle.
Yeah, that's a very fair question. That is the end of the round. Rolling initiative. Rolling initiative is Boomfa. Nathaniel, you are next to act.
Where is she?
She is here.
Can she get in and cast?
She would probably be the one that's... what's her base movement, right?
65.
60. Yeah, I'll give it to you. She's just on the cusp. She ought to cast. Casting is a 75% action, so yes, she can. She'd have to basically shove Keros aside, but as long as Keros was willing to get her aside, yes, you could get into cast.
So she'd like to cast an offensive spell. Just checking that the distance between roughly between the table and the wall.
Between the table and the wall, this one here, I can give you the exact.
I mean, the creature. Yeah. On the creature. No, the creature where the creature is on the table.
That is 9.5 foot.
Okay, so it might hit them. All right. She's gonna fire. Oh, well, she'll roll the spell anyway.
Okay. She's prepared 2 rounds or 3. I can't remember. Up to you.
Three. This is I think three because she was out there before. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
34.
34. That goes plus 10 because you've prepared 3 rounds. Yep. What does the spell do? The spell goes off.
So she's going to aim at the back of the wall, the flagstone.
Mm-hmm.
Cyclonic blast.
Okay.
Shoots forth a compressed air that bursts upon reaching the target.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's the effect of the spell?
Results determined on cold ball attack table, criticals and impact criticals.
Okay. So it rolls on the cold ball attack table, is that right? Is that what you said? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So, Nathan credit. So she rolled a 34 in total.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And what's her base spells, please?
I don't think she has
she doesn't?
skill. No.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that's just +0 for that. That's misses, I'm afraid. Doesn't find a target with that roll.
It's 20 even with her radius.
Yeah, it's rolling on the cold ball. It's definitely rolling on the cold ball attack table. And even with the radius, there is no damage. And that's 20 foot. Oh, no, it's not 20 foot, is it? What? Sorry, how large is the radius? How large is the effect?
She'll step back out.
No. Can you read the spell again, please?
Oh, hang on. Caster shoots a ball of compressed air that bursts upon reaching the target, attacking everything within 20-foot radius. Results are determined on cold ball attack table and criticals or impact criticals.
So 20 foot is right on her. I mean, whoever that character is, Leif, you're just out of it. And, yeah, there's no one else around you. No, there's no damage, I'm afraid.
All right, she'll step back out.
Okay. Done. Next thing. Right about now, not right about, exactly now, all of you hear the sounds of something really big, something large, and something bashes violently on this wall here, where the cursor is. And again, a scream. And the wall shudders.
Sorry, Chris. Which wall?
Here.
The whole wall is.
No. Where the cursor is, around there. And that is definitely where you hear this sound. Next to act is Gray.
Gray has just a feeling that maybe he wants to congratulate Kiros on an excellent shot to the tiles. It's just a feeling that he has.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to do that.
Excellent.
And then
he's gonna put it to the group because he's not sure. Should I hit with X to this?
Maybe.
beast,
Yeah,
this
I might
thing?
do it. Yeah, I reckon. But we need to stop it, don't we?
Yeah, so he's gonna go. How? I mean, he's quite. How far away is he? How would he be able to get into that room and just do a big whack down on it?
Yep. It's only 30
Okay,
foot
he's
away.
gonna- Yeah, he's gonna do that.
He'll have a negative 30 to his roll because he's walking in, or moving in.
Okay.
So Gray, you walk in. As you
Oh god.
as you walk in to do so, and this obviously is not known to anybody else, can you please? There is a gout of, again, this horrible black gas.
Mhm.
And can you please make a resistance roll?
Sure. 94.
Whew. Look at Gray and his healthy lungs. No issue at all. You basically, like swatting flies away, you wave your way through this gas, and you are standing over this malevolent-looking flagstone, and you smack it with your axe. Give me an attack roll, please.
Cool. Come on, X. 78.
78, it's not bad. 78. Gray's axe. Can you confirm his skill, please?
Yep. 105.
105, that's what I got. That's great. Bumper! Smack! That's 11 and a C. Roll the C, please.
Cool. 9.
9, okay.
Mast.
Yep. Yeah. You do it another 3 hits. You've definitely connected. And yeah, Gray, you're up close on this thing. You're staring at it, and yes, it kind of mildly shifts in front of your form. Sometimes it looks like a flagstone matching the rest of the room. The other times, yeah, that description of fleshy is kind of right, and it's just sickly and horrible looking. And oh god, Gray, it knows you're here, and it doesn't like you at all.
Does he have enough in him to move back a bit, or is he locked?
No, that's it. I'm afraid you've moved, and you've and you're lucky. I didn't minus the 33 off Luke. You're really lucky.
Oh.
I should have done that. That's my fault, not yours. You got a freebie.
Sorry, yeah.
Got a freebie. That was Gray. Leif. Now you are unaware, obviously, of what happened.
He's aware that Gray went in, though.
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, and he's thinking the same thing. He will want to move in too.
Mm-hmm. He moves in. Yep.
Yep.
No.
He wants to go and attack the flagstone too.
Oh, okay. Yep. Sure.
Yep.
Moves
sorry.
it. Distance. We're right at it. I'll give you a negative 14 on the attack, and I will make it this time. You move up.
14. Hang on a second. He wants enough movement to move back as well away. He's aware people are firing at it, so he'll. Another 14. So minus 20. Yep. I'm going to minus 26 off this roll.
Yep.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Give me a roll. Although you are moving out of combat.
True. Okay, if he can't, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to say he can't actually in this case for various reasons. Yep, he can't.
Yep, no, cool. 88.
Good roll. Just click one. Mine's 88. Smack with the backup magic broadsword.
Correct. The armor breaking one, in fact.
Oh, how about that? And his skill is what, please?
119.
Thank you. That's what I thought. That is a very convincing. Probably will be a bit more actually, as you do overkill.
Poor little flagstone. No sympathy, actually.
Broadsword or longsword? Longsword.
Longsword, yeah.
Longsword. Longsword.
He'll say, shut up, as he does it.
Okay. Basically, no additional damage, and it's 8 and an S. Roll the S, please. E. Sorry, 8 and an E.
E? 8 and an E. $45.
Smack. You do it another 5 hits. You do another 5. Wallop with your longsword.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Tarquin.
So he's going to spend 10% of his movement. He is going to close his eyes and perceive, and what he wants to perceive for. Well, I don't know if this is perception or if this is a kind of demon and devil or effect. I want to know if he can make sense of the noise that he heard. Is that perception or is that law?
I know what you're trying to do. Give me a demon and devil law. It's probably the best roll. Yep, give me a roll.
29.
89. And what's the skill?
I'm just looking here to see. I should know this off the back of my hand by now. So here we go. 33.
33. No, he doesn't. He can't place it.
I'm just going to presume that's 10% because the other 90% he wants to prep with.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Perfect. Next, Mython. Your ears did pick up something, in fact.
Yeah. She's not pleased about that. Two people have gone in. She's just trying to figure if she can. She will hold her action until after Kiros or Etienne have fired, and then she wants to run in and attack that flagstone. She will run in and see if she can attack the flagstone.
All right.
I think is that fair? She's seen the room. She's imagining the space is small. Yeah. No. Yep.
Has she seen the room? Did she go?
She stuck her. She looked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might give her an orientation roll because she doesn't know exactly where the flagstone is. She's heard people talk about something, but she hasn't.
Yeah, no,
she didn't see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Next to act is Etienne.
Where is he? Right, can he rush in and whack the flagstone?
Can. So distance, again the same. I'd give you a negative. He's a little bit further away, so a negative 18 to your roll, to your attack. He moves in. Give me a roll, please.
45.
45. Lovely. And can you confirm your broadsword skill?
130.
Penalty because you have. Really? It's interesting. Not what I was expecting. Wallop with the broadsword. That's 6 hits.
Is that it?
That's it. That is it. Yeah, I was expecting more as well. Next, Demos.
Sorry. I think Demos is he's just gonna keep watch. He's not gonna go in there. I don't think he's not. His little lungs can't handle any gas, so he's just gonna keep watch.
Done. Done.
You might say, "How's it going in there?
Having fun." And then
Give him hell."
and then last to act is Keros.
So she will step back through the curtain,
Mm-hmm.
all ready to blast the flagstone.
Mm-hmm.
She'll see her darling Grey and everybody else very frustratingly in the way, and I presume they are in the way, are they, Chris? How directed is this directed spell?
100%. You would absolutely risk shooting one or more of your companions.
Okay, so she'll shoot a venomous look of fire with her eyes and
Okay.
blow a kiss.
Excellent.
And blow a kiss with her hand to Demos and step back out of the room.
Give the GM a kiss, please. He'd like it. I'll look on the screen.
I did.
Oh, I missed it. There you go. Thank you very much. Got it on my camera. Thank you. Very good.
Not nearly as good as the actual player at Keros, but there we go.
There you go. And she steps back out again. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay, done. Excellent. Lovely. That is the end.
Does Smith
Oh,
then
yep.
get her?
Yep.
Yep. So she'll run in.
Yep.
I guess she's reluctant. I guess it's orientation roll if needed because
Yes,
there's 3
yes.
people around it. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
No, 3 people are in. Yeah, no, fair enough. Yep, 3 people around it. No.
Right.
Yep.
Can she get an attack in, or is it too
No,
crowded? for
she
her?
cannot.
No, she out she goes. Okay.
Done.
Thank you.
End of the round. Next round, and I'm happy to play longer, but I suspect other people will want to wrap at 9. But if we could rattle through this round, what do people think?
I can do this round.
Yeah, I can do another round. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Rolling initiative. Giles, is it alright with you? Take that as a yes. Next, Neathanel is first to act.
Right, what to do? Well, I think she'll go into the room. She, and just watch.
Okay.
I mean, she's seen how far the cloud goes, right?
Give me a reasoning roll. I mean, it all happened kind of fast, and also, you know, that's kind of. She know. I don't know if she'd know how far the cloud went.
Alright, she'll stay where she is.
Okay.
And she'll watch and she'll commentate so everyone outside knows what's going on inside over the course of the rounds.
Cool. Again, there is this bellow that the sound has moved around, you think around here, and again there's kind of bashing on the wall, and the building parts of the wall over here shudder and shake as the dust come down. Whatever it is big, and it sounds very angry, and it wants to get in. Next, there is again the sound of gong, and this time could be a problem. So, I would like, please, Gray, Etienne, and Leif to make a channeling resistance roll. We'll start in order that I went round. So, firstly, Gray. Gray, what level are you, please, again? Hello, Gray.
Sorry, it was on mute.
That's right.
8.
8, thank you. So, can you please make a roll? And then add on your channeling. Or
Yep.
channeling is. Thank you.
Cool. So roll plus channeling is 59.
59. We'll come to what happens. You did not pass. Gray. We will come to what happens to Gray in a second. The next is Etienne. A little bit interesting. A little bit. Oh no. Yeah, not as bad. Interesting. What level is Etienne, please? Hello, Graham.
Sorry, 8th.
8, thank you. Cool. Can you please give me a roll and then add on your channeling?
Ooh, 98.
98, roll again.
+34, and my channeling is plus 14.
Plus 14. So some terrible force has emanated from this seemingly innocuous, very large flagstone in front of you. A really evil, horrible force. But Etienne, you say, not today. And then lastly, Leif. Same, please. And you're not wearing any armor. Nope. So you are what level,
9.
please? 9. Thank you.
9.
Yep. Give me a roll, please.
34.
And what's your channeling?
10.
10. So both Leif and Gray, darkness just envelops your mind, and you know no more. And to your horror, Etienne and the Ethanol, you see both characters slump to the ground. Next is Mython. You were relaying, you were giving a running commentary in the Ethanol. I would give you, I would say that you shouted an alarm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say the Ethanol shouted. She probably hasn't said anything yet. Mython, what do you do? You're unaware of exactly what's happened inside.
Thinking what she would do. There's been a shout.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, she would go and look. She would go and look back in.
Okay. So she sticks her head through, and she sees both Gray and Leif on the ground. Leif, what light form did you have? A lantern, I believe.
Oh no, it was a spell.
A spell. Okay.
Duration of 90 minutes.
No, it's now gone because you're unconscious, or you're dead, or you're something. It's been cancelled.
Okay. So Mythane, if she can say, Grey Leif down, and then she would want to run in and stab the flagstone.
Okay. So stepping over Gray's inert form. Give me a roll, please. I'll give you a slight penalty because he's somewhat in the way, and you moved a very short distance.
Yep. Oh, 98.
Roll again.
$13. So it's anticlimactic.
Nice. And her skill with a broadsword, can you confirm, please?
Yep, 104.
Smash with the broadsword. Wallop with the broadsword. 8 in an A crush. Sorry, E crush, I should say. Roll the E, please.
And she'll do her shock bolt from the sword too, please.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the E. 7.
7. Glancing blow, 6 hits. You have the initiative next round, and then you're doing a shock bolt. How does that work again?
Point blank,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets. Sorry, get in there. Over here. We're a shock sword. The wield must make a melee attack and sword critical. You can then roll a point blank shock bolt. This is function up to 3 times a day, which she hasn't used up to 3 times a day. Foe gets only half DB on shock bolt.
And what's her skill on it?
So, her skill. So I'm rolling a. Hang on, directed spells. 31.
Goodness me! The fact that that critter only got half its DB. DB, by the way, doesn't always just mean movement. It can also mean other stuff. That's 6 and an A. Roll the A crit.
Awesome. 36.
Plus another 5 hits. So
Thank you.
this is only apparent, immediately apparent, to both Mithun and Etienne. But this Mithun's sword comes down over the top of Grey, and I did give you a slight minus for reaching over the top of him. Smashes into the ground, and there is this hiss, like a malevolent, evil, angry serpent. And then instantly, when that happens, there is a crack of stone. And Mithun and Etienne, you see this large flagstone. It would be something like 5 or 6 foot wide by about the same in depth. And it has this kind of almost fleshy-like appearance as I've described. And then suddenly it doesn't. And you see almost just these molecules or particles or something come up out of it, and there is this hissing noise as described, and the molecules just suddenly vanish. There is a crack, and the flagstone shatters and falls into chunks about yay big. And they fall down, and there is a clunk, 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 revealing pitch black tunnel with steps going down.
Ooh.
Killed, 4th level.
Nice work. We drag their bodies down there then.
Next
Right.
is Demos. Demos, you're obviously unaware of what just happened.
He'd probably be like, "What's all that racket?"
Oh, is Nathanol not giving a commentary?
Mhm.
To a certain degree, yep. What is she saying?
Dead.
Dead. Okay. Dead flagstone.
Well, at that, he'd probably want to come see.
Okay. Starts limping his way over.
Hobbling over.
So yes, indeed, the stair, this flagstone is broken, and then down here is the gaping black maw. This gaping black mouth of a tunnel. pitch black, and with stairs, old, ancient stairs going down.
Ooh,
Next
exciting.
is Tarquin. Tarquin, you are out here. You've heard Niathnal shout, dead.
I think he'd take off into the room to see what's going on.
Okay. Come in and is appraised of that situation. Keros is the last one on the outside.
Would step in
Mm-hmm.
and would head over to the two downed people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know what Kuros wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we still in rounds?
Yes. Oh, yes.
So, Kuros wants to cast 2 spells. Can she do that in this round?
No, you can only ever cast, one of the core rules of Rolemaster, only ever cast 1 spell in a round.
So, the 2 people who are down are...
Grey.
Okay, so that's all that Kuros needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
Kuros is going to cast Analyze Symptoms on Grey.
Okay.
And I think there's got to be like a plus 60, for that close emotional bond, right?
Okay. No. Give me a roll, please. What kind of hang on. What kind of spell was that? Is it a instantaneous spell or is it a?
No, it's not an instantaneous spell.
So she can't do that. She doesn't have enough action.
Well, she wants to get right over next.
Oh,
to Grey,
hang on.
25%.
So
Yeah,
she was there. So what is 25% of her normal base movement rate? Sorry, what?
It's exactly.
Yep.
It's exactly the distance required to get to Grey.
Which is how much, please?
So Kareth's movement is not filled in.
No,
so I can't tell you.
No, definitely is. Definitely.
So her base is 37 minus encumbrance is 0 plus 6.
So 37.
Okay, in which case it'll be
37. So
37 plus 6, so it'll be 43.
Yep. So what's 25% of 43?
10 foot, 11 foot.
10 foot. Thank you. So that's 10 foot there. That's how far she can get.
No, she'll just go over and be next to Grey so she can cast next round.
Okay, done. And the last to act this round is Etienne. Etienne, you've just seen Mithan come in, whack this naughty flagstone, and it's crumbled as described. What do you do?
Quick discussion. Well, it's probably end of the game, but quick discussion to say: do we shove the rest of the crystals in the boxes and see what happens, and then retreat down this stairwell, or do we retreat down this stairwell and worry about it later? But the trouble is, this place could be ruins by the time we come back up.
And that probably, with that question hanging pregnant in the air, unless people want to play on for a little bit longer, I think we should wrap. Unless somebody tells me otherwise, going once, going twice, that's it. We're wrapping there. Credits. Dun dun dun! Dun 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 dun.
Nobody answered.
No,
Next time.
yes.
Oh, thank you. Brilliant. What do you think, guys?
Can I just say, I called it at the beginning, never a dull moment. Who would have thought the flagstone would be the...
I didn't think the flagstone was going to be the end of the day.
No. Fantastic.
Surely we've got to call it something like Stoner's Delight.
Let's see.
It was Leif's. Yeah, Peter,
It
was
was, wasn't it? Well, I've written down that Tarquin was brave to go and check out that room that was empty. and then brave to be the first through the wall. So I think Tarquin.
There you
for
go.
bravery.
There we go. Well deserved. And do we want to come up with a title too? Or do we leave that till tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm good with Stoner's Delight.
Stoner's Delight. Stoner's Delight.